We live, Tiga. We live. Episode 18. Another
Wow,
episode. What going on? How
unbelievable.
everything is?
Everything is good, man. Thank God for life. We bless.
Thank
Episode
God for life.
18. I can't believe that's unbelievable, Mumba. We
Yeah.
really knocked it out the park.
Knocking it out the park, man. We doing big things.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Yeah, man.
Last
So,
episode, what do you think about that last episode?
man, last episode was good, man. It was some good information, it was great, man. It was like it gave me the old school vibes of a coach, his mindset, his mentality, you know, his vision, everything where he wanted to be, you know. So you could tell he has the best interests in the kids, them and everything, man. It seems like he
Remind,
has a lot of good
remind
goals.
the
And
people who you're talking about.
you
You
know
say,
what?
David. Remind the people
Or
who you're talking about.
Richie. Big up to Richie, man. My bad, man. I apologize. You know how it is. You know how it is.
We know who you're talking about, but the people need to know. You know what I'm saying? But go
Yeah,
ahead. Go ahead. Continue.
yeah. Hail up, Sonny. Hail up, Arika. Yeah, but he has a good mindset. It seems like he was born to be a coach. He just being around, you know, softball and baseball growing up with his parents and playing the sport and everything. And you could tell he's a teacher. He was like a student of the game, and now he's a teacher of the game. So I enjoyed the episode. The way how we received his scholarship was amazing and
Yeah.
everything, man. So, good stuff. The kids is in good hands with him.
Yeah, definitely. I echoed everything you said about him. Obviously I work with him, so I know him a little bit more personally, and I see what he's doing down here in the Virgin Islands, especially in St. Thomas and St. John. I mean, we are blessed to have him. It's nothing more said than that. He is just what the Virgin Islands need. We need a lot more of him. People with a lot of passion, people who definitely care, people who have that mentality to see our youths and young people get better. I
Yeah,
mean, he's God sent. I mean, we still do have a lot of people like that in the Virgin Islands. We need to highlight a lot more peoples like that. So big shout out to Richie, man. Much love. You don't know when. Once this COVID is finished, we're gonna get back into it. While we on the rise again. So
rise
represent.
again. Yeah, represent indeed. All right, let me give the little quick shout outs, Tegan. Let me go through this. Let me catch my breath because this is I gotta lose my breath on this, brother. I ain't get that type of voice like you get. So
Go ahead, do your thing.
we got legends 340.com. Go ahead, support, big up, Dingo, big up. Big up the whole family, everybody that doing the business and everything. Go out to support, log on, check it out. Support. We have Savory Eats LLC, based in Orlando by Sheena Fontaine. I was gonna support when she have a food sale. We have the Good Life Apparel. Big up to Nato, my boy. Big up. We have Andrea with the Melting Pot Cooking Class, and that's at Instagram. Melting Pot Cooking Class at Instagram, and also meltingpotcookingclass.com. So check it out. See if you might learn something if you're interested in melting pot. Also, we got Sabone Caribbean Restaurant. Big up to our Mitra. We got Apollo Legion. Big up Apollo Legion. We got Linique. With the Island Destiny 340, and that's at Instagram as well. Serenity Braids by Nikki. We got Rico Canario as well. Website www.lulu.com/spotlight/R Canario as well. We have Right Way Service Station located in Princess next to Avis. We have Paris Enterprise. We also have Livewire Sports. Follow Livewire Sports on Facebook. They're always live on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Livewire Sports. Follow on Facebook. They always highlight a lot of the youths and everybody, so go to support. We have Midnight Entertainment. Big up to Frenchie, based in Jacksonville. Also, we have Next Level Up Printing. Big up to Chico. Big up. Also, the Elite Podcast. We are live streaming right now as well on YouTube. So always follow the YouTube page at VI Legends. Okay, VI Legends. If anybody having trouble finding the page, when you type in VI Legends, you have to go to the settings and choose channel. You search it for channel, and then the page will come up as well. But if anybody having troubles, let us know, and then we'll send out a link as well. So, Tegan, you could touch this if you want to before we introduce our next guest. Before we start talking to our next guest, I know you posed something that was heart touching. About the violence. I don't know if you kind of want to spill 5 minutes. It's up to you, but give you the honor if you want to do that, or we
I
could do that
mean,
another time.
no, definitely. I always like to speak about it because somebody gotta say something. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that we as a Virgin Island community have just we gotten so desensitized to our young people killing each other. Nobody don't really say anything. It was kind of boiling over with me. When I
Yeah,
can see the whole world going to march for George Floyd and stuff like that. I don't have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like we say, our life matter, Black life matter, whatever. But in your own home, you don't even have enough. It's nothing inside of you for you to even stand up and say something is wrong. It's just crazy. So I just wanted to get up. Then I watched my little cuz Bugsy Junior was giving a little speech and singing a song and stuff, and I just felt his pain. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was listening to him and I just felt it. And that's what
yeah,
a lot of people in the Virgin Islands need to understand, especially the young people. And when you guys are doing shooting up each other and killing each other, even though I don't know most of these guys, but I still feel it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
It's true.
much less the family members. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say we're destroying the whole community because all of we feel it. As long as we care about people, all of we can feel it. So I don't know, my fingers went to work and I just had to post what was in my heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It was amazing. It was good stuff. You wrote on Facebook, and it touched me as well too. I grew up in an environment. I had one foot in, I had one foot out, so I know the pain and the suffering and how family members will affect. Because I've witnessed it firsthand. So it was important that you send that out, Tegan. You are a true model citizen of the Virgin Islands, and you are. I'm gonna tell you right now, you are. I appreciate everything you do, and we always say you the voice, but you are actually the voice because you actions back up your voice. You go out and you do a lot of stuff for the youth them. So I could see how much it affects you just because you're working with youths, every day and
Yeah.
everything. So your voice is very important. Maybe one day you might be ready for Senate, like how you try to get Albert to work for Senate. So
I have it.
I just turn that to you too. Okay. So, but we all appreciate, when you speak up, Tegan, because you're the voice, man, and you're an
Yeah.
important voice of the VI.
We
So,
really need to get this thing nipped in the butt, man. Man, all the community got to come together. I don't know what we have to do. Even if we have to go and start meeting some of our old OG leaders, them and like, dude, we gotta stop this, dude. We gotta really stop this. It's not cool anymore. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So much
definitely,
love though
man.
for your kind words, man. That was actually cool. That was touching. You know
Uh,
what I'm saying?
oh yeah, it's always good to to let people know how you feel about them. That's important because you just never know.
That's right.
Big
That's
up
right.
all the viewers. Big up all the viewers. I see you guys in the chat. Much love to everybody watching. Big up to all the viewers. All the viewers. Big up, Carrie. Big up, big bro. So episode 18, Tegan. We are to our next one, and this
This
guy,
one gonna be fun. This one yeah gonna be fun.
it's gonna
I
be
can tell
fun.
you. I'm gonna tell
You
you
know.
one thing. When I first met Mr. Big Andy Herbert, man, I ain't even lied to you, mama. I was so super intimidated of this dude. We was in complex. This dude came back and he was literally like Shaq. He was built. His muscles were like two of my arms. Them every time he dunked, it was like he was gonna break complex rim, dude. It was that crazy. This dude was that strong and powerful. You ain't wanted no part of this man. So, man, I can't wait to hear his journey. I can't wait for him to tell his story. And
Yes.
before there was a shock, he was shocked to me because this man never played, but
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
true,
I'm saying?
man.
So,
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I used to always hear about Andy because he played with Genix, and Mr. Herbert, God rest his soul, biggest Reds fan. So I used to always hear about Andy. Genix used to always talk about him all the time, you know. Um, but I finally get to meet him. I get to know him. My first trip with the Virgin Islands national team, And I said it, I think a couple episodes ago, Tyron Alec and Jaja Richards, they was all my roommates, and I was the youngest.
That's
And you
great.
know Andy, so you know Tyron Alec, and you know Jaja, so you
Andy
just
and
imagine.
Jaja together, I can imagine how
Yes.
much push-ups you were doing, Baz. Jaja is
you know,
crazy.
crazy. So but I got to know him that brief time and stuff, and I got nothing but love for you know Andy, man. So it's gonna be a great episode. He had a long journey, and I'm like a kid in a candy store. I just can't wait. I
I
can't
can't wait
wait.
to see that. Well, without further ado, let me bring on the man of the hour, Andy. Center stage, where you at?
Hey, good night, good night. Well, good afternoon. I guess we are in typical Cruisian time, so we keep it all the way Virgin Islands. you know. Hey,
Got to.
I definitely like this. I mean, what y'all doing? It definitely much applause and praise for y'all because this is also education for the people who trying to do something with their lives. You know what I mean? And y'all giving them an outlet to know people that they didn't want to have a chance to know. A lot of our history is definitely not really told; it's just passed on. So what y'all doing is definitely commendable.
Thank you. Thank
Awesome.
you.
As we welcome our other host, Beanie Pang, any words and any knowledge about Andy? And they're running late, but you're right on time. Come in.
Yeah, man. Good afternoon, everybody. We say Andy.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, man. My experience with Andy is just at a young age, seeing Andy trying to break down Central Rim. I just remember all the amazing stuff. He was like our Shaquille O'Neal growing up. You know what I mean? So he was definitely a phenom on the court and very impressive the things that he used to do at his size. A lot of times you see tall people, they're not agile, they don't handle the ball well, they don't dunk, they don't do styles with dunk, but Andy had it all, for his he carried his size well, and he was very skilled and in his genre, and he was definitely somebody to look up to at that time, and give people inspiration and wanting to play this sport, because most basketball players, you see, they're long, they're skinny, they're slender, they're fast, but you don't have to be all them attributes to be dominant and skillful at the same time, and they definitely had that.
Yep, yep. Well said.
Well said.
Echo
Well
the
said,
stage.
Pang. Well said.
give thanks, man.
So let me jump in with the first question because I like to jump in early, and it's very simple, Andy. I can't remember fully, but did you break the backboarding complex? I swear you didn't.
Absolutely did. Tore that
I know you
off.
broke the backboarding complex, but I remember this man break a backboarding complex bars.
I, I
And
Yeah,
he
think
yeah.
was
I think it
yes,
was Mac
let me
and
tell
Zora them kicked me out of the gym after that.
you. Yeah, why you used to dunk so hard? Like, dude, you used to dunk hard.
Well, to be honest, I don't never ever thought it's something intentional. It's just the cosmetic of who I am, my size or whatever. I mean, I'm not the typical what you consider a basketball player frame, but with that being said, my weight and everything else, and they tend to break. I got some interesting stories about that as well.
So my next question is, how many rims of backboard you have destroyed, and how many lawsuits you have? Because you mash up more rims than Shaq, and nobody talking about this.
It's funny you said that. Total it was 14, but I never been sued, and we're gonna keep it like that. But
All right.
um,
Yeah.
I met an interesting person who had something to do with a lot of my career and gave me an opportunity because of that kind of situation. I was playing in a summer league somewhere in Pennsylvania, and the backboard didn't break, but the rim broke, and I saw this big dude coming up the stands. I was like, oh, I guess I got perforated. Then I looked closer. It was Daryl Dawkins. He's like, what are you doing, man? You trying to beat my record? What are you doing? So I was like, no, man, it just happened. He said, I like your energy. We talked a little more about where I'm from. He said, "Oh, you from the islands?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "I'm from the Bahamas. My mom, parents, everybody from the Bahamas." I said, "Okay." He said, "Man, give me a number. I got something for you." I said, "Okay." I didn't think anything of it. Maybe a week and a half later, I got a call. "Big fella, this dark chocolate." I was like, "Who the hell is this?" You know what I mean? He's like, "No, this Daryl." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Yeah, what's going on?" He's like, "Look, man, pack your bags. I got a contract for you to go to the Philippines to play for a team named Tanduay. But every backboard you break, I'm gonna give you $1,000. That's a requirement on your contract." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm good." I'm over there. Got over there. They treated me like a king. I swear to God, I try even in practice, whatever you break. So they had extra backboards. I'm on there trying to pull everything down. I never shot a jump shot. I was trying to just break everything, but I didn't. It didn't happen because it was nothing planned. But that's interesting how that has happened. Throughout my college career, I broke 2, and the rest was always overseas when I played internationally. I guess when I'm pissed off, things break.
That's crazy.
Hopefully, you don't get pissed off during this episode.
Yeah,
I
stop
try
breaking.
not to. I try. I try. I end up turning green when like the old time Hulk.
Man. Yeah,
So
Z just texted me. Z say kick you out of the gym when you break complex backboard.
Yeah, because home it's gonna probably take a whole year before another backboard come. I was like,
right,
I felt bad.
right.
So I felt bad, and I ain't had the money to pay for it. So I said, I think I should leave the island now. So I roll out.
Yeah, good,
So
BD.
we what everybody gonna want to know for sure is like how you get into playing basketball. Where it all started for you?
uh wow. Okay. Interesting. Um y'all gonna laugh at me. Well, I wanted to play basketball, but my mother didn't want me out the house. Like, so what I did, everybody got assistants. I put up my own little basketball thing in my yard. So every day, I really used to, after baseball practice with Genix, I'll be out there playing basketball,
Wow.
and I actually got real good at it. And okay, Zoro, and I got pretty good at it. I put up the rim higher than the actual rim, so it was always forcing me to excel higher, to jump and do other things. I used to have my own little tournament on my yard and my little system, and I think it was Ray Lockhart. His son was like, I think he told his father, "But wait, Andy could play," or something like that, and I was like, "Yeah, but I don't want to play for Central because Mr. Lockhart is a slave driver and he gonna run me to death, and I don't feel like doing none of that. So I don't feel like running 5 miles to prove that I can play, So every day it seemed like, and Mr. Lockhart literally lives 2 minutes away from my house. So he would stop by my house and like, "Yo, you coming to try out?" And I was like, "Yeah, nah, yeah, come in," but I never went. I never went. So I ended up going to Complex, not Complex. What was Annex? I went to Annex in 10th grade, and I heard, yeah, Central High got in their basketball tryouts. You going to play? The coach at the time there, I think it was Mr. Johnson. He's like, "Man, you should go and play. You killing here in our league. You should go play." I said, "No, I don't want to play. I'm okay." So somehow I think what's the name? Ronnie had something to do with Ronnie, who passed away, rest his soul.
Yes, sir.
Usi's brother. They messed my schedule up, so I had to go from the annex to the main campus. I did not want to go. Somehow I'm ending up in the gym. So I'm in a room cornered with Lockhart and Ronnie. And I want to say it's Mr. Cornelius, Danny Cornelius was there. So they was like, well, you ain't come to try out. And I wasn't thinking real fast. I was like, I ain't had no shots, me had no shoes. And then, so that's your only problem? I was like, yes. Not figuring they had this stuff there. They went and pulled out shorts and shoes, and then I was stuck. So I was stuck, and then right then and then it was almost 3 o'clock. So like, go ahead and try out. So I was, run around. I started playing, and I warmed up with the guys, and I'm a little funny, so I wouldn't put forth a full effort. So I was just going through the motions. So they was like, I heard him say, like, I thought he could say he could run and jump and dunk and everything. So I was just laying the ball up. I wouldn't really display what I could really do. Then somebody said, man, I don't think you could play. And I just went off. I just started tearing the rim off, and they were like, oh my God, where has he been? He got to be playing. You know, I was like, and ever since, every summer, every other free time, Mr. Lockhart is at my gate trying to get me to run down the street with him, go work out, push me all the time. I mean, that man has been tremendous in who I am as well, just as Genix and a lot of different people who created who I am today, besides my father, of course. But they have a lot of bearing in who I am and a lot of things that I face. And with their teaching, which I didn't think it was teaching, I rather use another word called torture than teaching. But with their tortureism, it helps you to get through a lot of tough times. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, big respect to all of them all the time. You know what I mean?
Hey, people don't realize the factor of hard work, you know. Like seriously, like it prepares you when you're young. It prepares you for tough times in life as an adult. And people don't realize how much working hard out in your parents' yard, you know, helping a friend next door, you know, like just hard work when you're a kid. It prepares you for hard work when you're an adult, and it come like cakewalk to you, man, when you're an adult. People don't realize that. Hey,
That's
um,
true.
one thing you mentioned, for all the young people them that watching the podcast, you said you didn't go Central, you went to Annex. Explain how Annex came about for the people them who don't know what Annex is.
Well, Annex was like at that time the college prep individuals who's getting prepared for college. So that was where what's that? The old Elena, and that's where most of the kids or people going to college at that time was going there. And the rest of the school was like vocational and everything else. But that was a designated for that time, the Annex. So
Mm.
it was a school within a school, and it was a good situation for the time. I mean, they did the best they could for us at that time.
Tia, you know about Annex?
No, I did not. I actually was gonna ask too, but you beat me to the punch.
What
I
about you,
hear about
Mama?
Annex. I hear about Annex, but that was about it.
And the only way I know about Annex because Cheese used to go Annex. I think my older sister used to go Annex too. And I know they had students in Annex and they had students in Central, but I didn't never really know the concept behind of it.
Yeah. Cheese went to Annex as well. I want to say
Yeah,
Gabrielle did too. And I
Yeah,
think she went.
she said, "Are you in class?"
Yeah. Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
she would never let
Yusef
me cheat
said
on her
that.
paper. I never understood that.
Yusef said it was because they had too much 10th graders.
I don't know, but it was it might have been that and the fact that the hurricane and they couldn't accommodate everybody at that time. So it
Okay.
was a mixture of a lot of different things. You know what I mean?
But you
Mm.
still belongs to Central because you tried out on
Yes,
Central
yeah,
too.
yes, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's one of the things I wanted to know. So 10th grade was your first year playing basketball for
Basketball.
Central.
Yeah, at that time, who was on the team? Man,
Haywood wasn't there. Haywood had left.
Yeah.
no, he wasn't there. You had uh, Cosmo Wana, Sonny. You had
Mm.
Zan. Oh no, I know Zan. I think it's Henry Gonzak, another crazy man. Uh, who else was on there? Riedel, Riedel. I don't know if
Yeah,
I know
Riddell.
Riedel
Which
from East. Riedel was
oh,
from, yeah. What was Riedel? Riedel Thomas.
Fidel Thomas.
Base was there too. Um, who else? He had a couple people. I want to say Wanda Merrill was on that team that time too. Or not? I
How
think
dominant was
so.
that team versus Charlotte Amali? Because obviously that was our rival. If there
It
was any.
don't cut. It's never a rival. Look, our second string was our best competition, and I'll tell it to anybody. I mean, in the Virginals, nobody could mess with Central High. I mean, you got roughly what 2,000 or 3,000 students to pick from. versus the other schools that only got a couple hundred. You got a lottery pick to pick from than everybody else because it had other guys in the school that can also play and could have played for other schools and been stars. But to play in Central, you on the top of the top. You are, you top shelf on that, So
If
to play Charlotte and Mali and the other schools, they couldn't do nothing. They still in. Who is that? Is that an elementary school or that's no? Let me stop.
Try bullet.
if you had Wanda, I know I are running people to the ground because that dude was a scoring machine.
Absolutely. Well, I actually at that time also Cobra was on there.
Yeah.
he gonna
So
kill me.
so
Mad
just
Snake.
that.
He's Cobra. You had Bonehead. You had some talented dude. Like no joke. I think everybody on that team would have dunked on you easily.
Oh, you play with Bonehead? No man, you had a
Yeah, man.
squad,
Yeah. Bonehead. The more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, definitely. We used to call him Frame too. Like Frame, he had he was so lanky. He just squeezed through people and dunk on you. It was easy. It was effortless for him how he do it.
Bonehead was another crafty player. Like he
Absolutely.
he was a little bit like Zorro. Honestly, he had a game like that used to mimic Zorro, and he was very crafty with the ball. So,
absolutely.
Really smooth.
Bonehead and Zorro was like the only person I used to see used to cuff the ball back in them time there, like to drag through the hole, not to dunk like cuff and cradle and dunk. I mean like to cuff and hide the ball. Them was the only two man I used to see doing that there back in them time there.
Yeah. Hey, you better don't play on rocking on your heels with him. He'll dunk on you quick.
Easy.
He was nice. I remember playing against him when he used to play Hoyas, right? In my league, Bonehead. He came dunk up and Hoyas, and I was like, God, this dude just nice, man.
Yeah,
this man big.
Yeah, he was nice.
Bonehead was sleepy crafty.
So go ahead, Pat.
No, go ahead, Mama. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask Andy, like, so how was that? So you started playing, basketball in 10th grade, so how was your first season, transitioning from baseball into basketball and then, having that first season with so much talented, teammates?
Well, I'm a competitor, but you got to wait how Central set up, you got to wait your turn, you know what I mean? No matter how good you are. And at that time, you had Sonny, who was the man. I mean, he was a good player at the time. Zan was there too, another good player, veteran player. So I just fill in where I was, you know what I mean? Waited my time, do what I needed to do. But I got a lot of playing time, but they was the team captain, the dominant one at that time. And it was a good situation. But, look, when you're a rookie, they try to give you that rookie stuff. You know it is, Mumba. You got to pay your dues.
I'm the only ungodly player up here. All we had to wait, son.
you got to wait your time. You got to prove your time. And I think I kind of had a accelerated time because my 11th year, I was really more blossoming into who I was gonna be, or more. I got more notoriety at 11th grade.
Go ahead, Benny.
No, I was gonna say let me backtrack a little bit because I wish I had stopped Mumba with the question to ask my question first. So you mentioned G-Nix, so it sounds like you used to play baseball too. So obviously you had to be a power hitter. Like, how was your experience growing up playing baseball?
Life changing. G-Nix. I really don't know if G-Nix was in the military, but if he was, he's definitely a general because either if you ain't falling in, you're gonna fall out. Many times G-Nix don't tell me to tell my mother to take me home and let her teach me how to play because I ain't listening. You know what I mean? He ain't care. Get out, leave. But the discipline helped me to be who I am. Playing with him was fun because he was a strategist, you know what I mean? When you didn't think he paying attention, he always paying attention. He watching what you're doing. his favorite word, ignorance. You over there doing ignorance all day, ignorance.
That's
So you know,
yeah.
he's always watching. But the thing about also Genix, one on one, he's a good friend. He'll talk to you. He'll give you the information or mentoring that you need to also. But when he was out there, he was all business. Once again, he was on the torturing team too because I thought he hated me because I always had to do extra work. I was like, everybody got home and I still running, I still doing dog walks and stuff like that. But when sometimes when people see more in you, they put more effort to you to help you. And instead it was a punishment, it was really a preparement, if that's even an actual word for who I am and what it was, because they see better in you than you see in yourself. So I mean, I ain't like it, but I did it, and people laughing at me and whatever. I running, and I mean, but it paid off.
That's good, man. We tell us hearing the Genix story. So I wanted you to share your experience with Genix because
Yeah.
if outside of him, outside of Zorro, he's definitely the legends of all the legends we have interviewed so far because he has molded a lot of our legends that we interviewed so far. So he is definitely the legends of our legends. He and Zorro.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
well, I think Tegan was getting ready to ask you about college before he stepped out. So like how was your recruiting process or how you got into college and what college you went to?
Well, I ended up going to Delaware State, and at first I honestly didn't really thought much of college at the time because I was okay. You home, you're comfortable. I was like, I really wanted to join the Marine Corps at one point because I just like that whole mentality.
Hmm.
But I end up going late to taking my SATs, and I end up getting a 690, and I had to sit out, which at that time you considered a Prop 48. So I had to sit the year out, and a lot of schools that came to visit, they didn't want to pay for me to sit the year out.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
Delaware State did. They paid for me and they took care of me. And they was like, we'll pay for your first year, your Prop 48. And then I went to Delaware State and I sat the first year out. And starting the second season, they had a whole bunch of hype. And, what's that? What's the first game you call it? What, Midnight Madness? Yeah, that's what it was,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Midnight
yeah.
Madness. And that has started my situation there. The first game of Midnight Madness, the first quarter, I got in the game and drop step and I broke the backboard there again. So that
That's
started
crazy.
that started part of that in college. So they lost their mind and everybody was excited for the upcoming season. So that's the start of me breaking stuff.
was was Delaware State in the MEAC at that time too?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
So how was your freshman year playing? Like how was that experience and transition into the state's life?
Well, I mean, as a competitor, it was kind of tough because now you playing people your size playing the different position, the guard position, the whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got a guy my size bringing it up, and I'm like, from coming from home, you don't see that. You're like, what the hell he doing? You know what I mean? But you had to adapt quickly, otherwise they're gonna keep destroying you. So I had to learn quickly, play a lot of different leagues and stuff, and once you keep getting, and the only way you learn by losing or getting abused, and I got abused and I learned and I got better till I could dominate. You understand what I'm saying? Because if
Yeah.
someone's saying, okay, yeah, killing, then if you killing them, they're learning from you. You ain't learning from them. You understand what I'm saying? So I've gotten my fair shares of, damn, I just lost by 20. This dude dogged me. What I could do the next time to counter that to get better. You force yourself to be better.
Hmm. The well, Delaware, the snow and stuff like that. Like what? That was your first time being in the States?
Man, no, not the first time in the Snakes, but I actually went to Delaware State for two sports to play baseball and basketball. And
Oh, okay.
when I went, when I went, I made when it turned like November, because I don't know if everybody know Delaware is more or less. We should now, but it's on the coast. It's very cold and windy, and I was like,
Mhm.
no, sir, I ain't doing that. It was too cold for me out there. I can't even feel my hands, and it just no, I refuse to do that. So
Yeah, I
I
know the
more or less
feeling.
focus on basketball. I mean, I think if I was in Florida area, or even maybe somewhere south, I might have really focused, or Texas on something like that. Would have been a
Mhm.
different story. But being that far north, it's cold. It's real cold. I was like, no.
Is there a certain school you wanted to go to coming out of high school? I know you said you was interested in the Marine as well too, but was there any colleges that you had your eyes on that you really wanted to go to?
Well, it's not like now that you could open your phone or look online and check a website. I remember how they pull it out. Somebody just pull a big book with 3,000 names. Pick one. I don't know. You know what I mean? So I gravitated to like more or less what stuck out in my mind. I wanted to go to Clemson. I wanted to go to Georgetown, that kind of thing, because that was
Okay.
the more name. But I didn't care. Once my mother ain't had to pay for it, I'm going. So I was like, I can go. All right, whatever. You know.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
So how? Give me some names that you had to go up against because Delaware State used to play some good teams. Like, give me some of them big names that you played against.
It had a dude that we ended up playing in a St. Joe's tournament, and the St. Joe's tournament at the time had oh wow, they had they had what's the guy name? I'll tell you the story. His name was he went to Stanford. He was leading the league in scoring. 6 foot 11. Damn it. I'm a little brain. I'm getting old now. I can't. I'm sorry, like Lockhart.
Hey, we all be there too,
He was
man.
a huge. He was a huge. He played for the Bucks at the time. Um,
Tegan is the brain. Ask Tegan.
hold on.
What's that?
Um,
It was
six
I
eleven
know
player for
he played for the
Stanford.
Bucks for the time. Six. Yeah, he played for the Bucks for a while with Ray Allen and them. Big fella.
Vin Baker.
Anyway, Vin Baker. Yeah,
Okay.
I got to know Vin Baker in an interesting way. I had to check him. I was the tallest, one of the tallest guys on the team. Being so, I the whole time the point guard took the ball out and he gave to him, which normally is in reverse. I was like, well, what are they doing here? I'm trying to figure this out. He brought the ball. That's the first dude that I've seen bigger than me bring the ball up and took a step over half court and shoot the ball. I said, but wait, we're really gonna nothing but the bottom of the net. He backpedaling. I said, well, I ain't never see that before. He get a ball in the block, turn around. I put my hand over the ball to block it. He took his off hand, move it out the way. He said, hey, don't worry about that. They're here to see me. Nothing but the net. Look at the ref. Ref ain't even blow the whistle. So he scored 40 points. And he said, I'm going to the NBA. Don't worry about it. And that was my introduction to Vin Baker. Then,
Second.
I've never seen nobody at that size do that so effortlessly. Um, Also, we end up playing another team from Alabama with this guy. He was shooting free throw. He had a mask on because he broke his nose. So sometimes, I talk a lot of trash. I was out there, I said, but wait, they got a mask man looking to shoot this ball, man. Who he is? So his teammate was like, you better leave him alone. Well, he shot the ball from the free throw line. I jumped up with my left hand to try to get the rebound. He shot the ball. He got it over my head, dunked the ball, dunked on me, and I was like, "What the hell just happened?" That was McDice.
Oh.
Oh
So
my.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
yes, I've
Yeah.
never seen
Antonio.
nobody that big. Antonio McDice dunked the ball like that. I was like, "You on your way?" So they're like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "To the league." I never seen that. I watched it. I watch it myself. You know what I mean? It was, I played against Stademeyer. Um, it's just a host of people that I've encountered in college playing. Delaware State did play a lot of good teams, and I had a lot of exposure.
Mm. Well, those first two names you call McDice, and I always thought
And
that
Baker.
Yeah,
he had a raw deal, McDice. Like
Yeah,
injuries messed him up because he
Man,
was a beast.
he was a
man,
beast for real,
athletic.
man.
Wow.
He was
Yeah,
a
Vin
So you
beast.
have
Baker.
to check those guys like that. And at the time, did you know, like, man, I have a chance to go to the NBA because those guys were so good. Those guys was actually all-star quality type players.
Yeah, they were top
well,
picks, lottery picks.
they look, yeah. So when I saw that they were on another level, I was like, they definitely going. They probably going tomorrow because they were that good. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm being honest. I mean, I don't know about their work ethic, but skill wise, they was off the chart. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
never see a dude that size jump that high that quick. Like I'm like, where they grow you at? You know? But
That's crazy.
So, you play all 4 years in college?
yes, I played all 4 years. Played all no, I played 3 years and then I graduated because I was a Prop 48 the first year, and after that
okay.
I um I got invited to NBA Combine, which what's the name? Got me hooked up with that. What's it? Holman Hollier. You probably run into him. I heard his name before,
Mm-hmm.
and got
Yeah,
me into NBA camp in Chicago, which in the NBA camp it had Iverson, Othello Harrington, big dude named Shelly Clark. Which funny that I've seen a lot of them overseas in different places. You know what I mean? Again, but that's how I met a lot of those dudes in there in the camp.
I,
You know,
I remember that camp. Sorry, Depang. I remember that camp because they said I remember Iverson was destroying the camp. Was he really destroying the camp, or
Effort,
yeah,
were they boosting him up?
effortlessly, he does what he wanted to do. He's too fast.
Hmm.
He's fast and crafty.
Yeah, he's very quick.
You
He's
know,
very quick.
yeah, and he changed speed so quick. You know, it's hard for someone to go to 10 and then go to 2 and go to 10. It's hard to catch up on that.
Mm.
you know what was very impressive with you? Like as you can see in the chat, you can even see it in the chat. Some of the comments people making about you,
I
and
can't even see what going on. I didn't even see that. I can't. How you see that?
well, some of the comments them flashing across the screen. You could see it from time
Okay.
to time.
yeah,
Like in my walks of basketball, like one of the names you was out of like all the VI legend. You was always one of the five people always talk about. Even some of the VI legends, like you always mention like like people always talk about you. And I have even come to America and come across people who talk about you, who came across you and just talk about how much of a beast you was, and they're surprised you never make it to the NBA. Like why um you were invited to that camp. Like what do you think was some of the reasons why you never made it to the NBA? Or can you pinpoint on some of the reasons why you didn't make it to the NBA?
I mean, you know what? Everything happened for a reason. You know what I mean? Me saying that proactively or later on, I mean, it's just timing. A lot of things is timing. You know what I mean? And a lot of things sometimes that you don't get that you kind of want opens up for some of the things that you needed to go to. You understand what I'm saying? So for
Right.
me,
that's
I
true.
never made the NBA, but I honestly think my professional career, I played 10 years. And, I played 10 years overseas to 43 countries in 10 years. You know what I mean? I've seen more things than most people alive have seen, you know. So I did what I enjoy doing, seeing the world, traveling anyway.
All right.
That's what I love to do. So I travel on somebody else's dime to do what I love to do. I got paid to do what I like to do anyway.
I will echo that because I also played 10 years and the end. What you saying is absolutely right compared to not going to the NBA. You get a lot more grounded in terms of the world perspective because we've been in so many different cultures, in so many different places. It just makes you overall see things I don't know, in a more humbler light, if that's a word. Is that a word, Parent? You're a
You
little
didn't.
bit more humble.
Yeah, I was just about to say you didn't need a la, but
Yeah, yeah, I
you
don't
are.
think I don't think that's a word, but I totally felt what Andy was saying because you kind of come out of it not thinking you're better than anybody else. Whereas if you probably had
Well,
went to the not that he probably wouldn't have been the same person, but you'd have had a little bit more of an edge on you being an NBA player.
but you know what? Uh, I mean, and don't get us wrong. I mean, the NBA is actually everybody's ultimate feat or whatever try to attain. That's cool. But to me, man, I had the best uh, instructions or education by travel. I mean, I've been places that people read about. You know what I mean? I mean, I've seen things that would wow you in so many different ways. And I mean, I connect with so many different people from all of South America to Asia to you name it. Australia, been there, done that. You know, so for me, I had the best education and I had a free education. Now, I mean, 80% of it was good, but some of the time it wasn't good. But all of this is the tuition of life. You know what I mean? You learn in different things based on how other people are living. And overseas basketball is not just playing. That's just 2 hours out of a 24-hour day. You might practice maybe four if you do two practices a day. So you might practice in the morning and practice at night. You still got to deal with culture, climate. You know what I'm saying? And some of the times you're in places that don't speak English. You still got to learn how to survive in different situations. You got to be a smart person to play overseas. You got to be a
Mm.
survivor. I don't really think most people in the NBA can make it longer overseas because the spoon is different. And when I say that, they get everything fed to them on a silver platter. You got a trainer, you got somebody wake you up, you got somebody fix your food. Overseas, you got to get up and do your own thing. You got to get your own shots up. You got to do everything yourself. You even got to listen to a stupid coach that you know more than he does. But because he's the
Yeah,
coach, he gonna tell you do this, and then but you got to make your money, get your points. So you do the stupid things, but you got to be smart enough to do what you need to do to make who you are. Practice your drills to keep your of who you are. You understand what I'm saying? I've been over there, and they, mind you, we are playing a basketball, but they want you to play kick soccer, kick the ball. They want you to play
yeah,
stupid games that has nothing to me to do with basketball. It makes no sense. So, but you don't want to be a bad teammate, so you do this
Yeah.
stuff, and then you at the end you go back and do what you need to do that got you there. Because if you keep doing that, you conform to them, and that's not what they bring you there for. You know what I mean? So you got to know
right.
who you are and where you're going. And then all the time, I was successful before. You know, I've got fired from a job. I've got cut because they liked me. They didn't like me. They got cut. It's many different reasons people get cut. You know what I mean? But you learn. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I ain't gonna do that this time. You know, so
That was
that's one of the things.
that was one of the
So,
questions I was gonna ask you, Andy. Just speak a little bit of how cutthroat overseas is in terms of performing, because when you are an import, it's only two or three at most, and if you ain't playing good for like 2-3 games, you gotta know. You getting cut. You
Well,
can.
it, overseas basketball is like the ultimate warrior type thing. That's the best way I could put it. You must perform every time. And that's why sometimes I really never try to make too much friends because I know me and you cool. I might have to do what I need to do to get this win. And if I gotta beat you, I got to do what I got to do, it's gonna happen because I need this win to keep this money coming in. You know, if I gotta push you in the stands or look, I need this damn rebound. If it's in my contract, I need 10 or more rebounds to give me an extra 250 and it's 200. I need that no matter what, you know. So a lot of people can't handle the pressure of that. I mean, I've been in a situation that they called my name out and I was somewhere from the country and I don't think anybody ever had 20,000 people just boo you, man. Just boo, you know, it was terrible. And I actually laughed. It was funny to me because now I'm gonna destroy your players and I'm gonna have the last laugh. And I end up winning, and they was cheering at the end of it. You know what I mean? But you have to have, and if anything I could say for people trying to do anything, you have to have tough skin and short memory.
Hmm.
Because if you hold on to a lot of bad stuff, it's gonna just propel. So do it, forget about it. Do it, forget about it, and keep moving forward. Otherwise, if you're like, man, I mess up, you don't keep messing up. I've been playing for a coach in Antigua, and I'm sure you can understand this. You play for a coach that just for whatever reason they didn't like you. He didn't like Americans, and he said, "Well, you not rebounding enough." The stats came out. I'm leading the league in rebounds. Okay, you're not scoring. You're not scoring enough. It came out. I'm second in scoring. Till the next week, it was like, well, you're not passing. No, he said you didn't pass the ball. And if y'all know me, I'm not like that. But I shot the ball 43 times that game purposely. I ain't passed it to nobody because, yeah, I had
Yep.
55 points. And I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna shoot everything because win, lose, or draw, you the first one they're gonna cut. The American
right.
didn't do the job. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go out guns blazing. I shot everything. I didn't care. I ain't even take it out. I ain't take the ball out. But you gotta figure out how to win before your opponent. You know what I mean? And your opponent
That's
is
true.
not just some of the time it's not just the opposing team. It's the opposing team and the 2 and 3 referees are your opponents. You get ticky-tack foul for no reason because they don't like you because you're coming into their town. So you got to see why this man calling everything touchy. So you can't be as aggressive. You got to change your game versus how the game is being played. You got to figure it out. So I was like, well, I ain't doing none of that. I need to stay in the game because if I'm on the bench, guess who they're going to blame? The American came and he fouled out. He's no good. They don't care. All they care about is your stats at the end of the day. What did he
Yep.
score? What did he do? Did you win or lose? Especially if you're losing, you better get your stats. If you winning, it's okay if you ain't getting your stats on or anything like that. But if you're losing, get your numbers. You know what I mean? So it forces you to always be on your game. They ain't bring you all this way because they like you. You're here to do a job. So I never really got too friendly with a lot of them because I know I could be on the next thing going south again on another plane. You know,
Yeah. So we have a question here. Where is the most impactful place you have been?
impactful.
Yeah,
What do you
impactful.
mean impactful?
Yes, they probably asking, where did you make the most impact? What country? What team?
No, it could be that way, or it could
Okay.
be mostly because the question was a follow up to your experiences to the many different countries. So it could be impactful as far as playing, or it might have been impactful as far as impactful on your life, as far as a person.
Okay. I'll share this. So I was playing in Holland, and we was playing a pretty good team, and our team was doing pretty well as well. And they put a guy in like almost Dennis Rodman-ish to antagonize, cause problems, to hurt you, whatever. And the whole game, the ref letting this dude more or less beat me up or whatever the case may be. I grabbed a rebound and I cleared it the correct way, but he got hit with my elbow. So he fell
Mm-mm.
down to the ground and he kicked me in my knee. And this was me, hot head. I lost it. I hit him, broke his jaw. So uh, they kicked me out of the league. And right after that, the very next week was 9/11. So now I was stuck in Holland for a minute waiting for my agent to get me to another situation, another team. My agent was in the stand at the time. He saw what happened. He's like, don't worry about it. But 9/11 came. So, like, at that time, no plane moving, no team going. It's almost like this pandemic. Ain't nothing going on. So I'm like, damn, I'm stuck. So, like, 2 weeks later, he called me, like, look, I got a team for you to go to. But at that time, I was older in playing. I had a couple years on me. So I wasn't a fan about going to try out for anybody team. I was like, I ain't trying out. So he's like, ain't nothing else going on. You got to do something. I was already in Europe, and I ended up going to the Middle East. I went to Jordan. So mind you, naive, not ignorant to the fact about the whole Islam Muslim thing. I'm like, damn, I'm on this plane with all these people that they looking at me crazy. I'm looking at them, but I didn't care. I was like, I went. So I ended up going to Jordan to play on do what they considered a friendly game. I had 2 games. So my first game, I had 45 points and a half. Second
And a half.
game, the first half and a half. They were so terrible. I mean, and a half. But the second game, I played the first and the third quarter, and I had 32. And I took my shoes off, and I went on the side. I was like, man, I ain't doing no more. You already know what you got, you know? So in the process of that, I was calling my agent, hey, man, they're ready to do a deal. At this time, God rest his soul, Harry Kipp was my agent from courtside. He passed away from pancreatic cancer. Never knew. So I was like, wow, these people, like, man, they're ready to do this thing. You know, they can't get a hold of my agent. So I used to keep a lot of my contracts. So I went in the hotel and I took all my other contracts from all the places I played and I pieced them together and I stapled them up. You know what I mean? So no, I ain't gonna put that in there for me to get fined. No, we're not gonna do that. So I put all the pluses in there, like 10 free tickets, 10 unlimited shoes, and they agreed to this thing. I was like, and 4 months of pay up front. I was like, they went for it. I said, wow. I was like, that made me become my own agent because I was like, now I don't need an agent. I know how to do it. So these people gave me a lump sum of money, all these stuff, and the league wasn't going to start for 2 months, and I already got like 4 months worth of money in front. So we played, the team was a bottom team. We finished second that year, and based on we finished second, they gave me a 3-year contract. So I ended up playing 3 years there, which was a very good learning experience. I learned a lot about the whole Middle East, Islamic. It was, just different things, man. It was the culture and so forth. I mean, everybody's the same and everybody's different. You know what I mean? But they're the same. They do the same thing, but it's just slightly different. So I would say that was more shocking for me, and teachable learning. And I mean, up to this day, I still have friends that reach out to me in the Middle East. I even learned average enough Arabic at times too, as well. You know what I mean? If I come home and I mess with them dudes in sunshine and they know who I am, But
That's crazy.
So,
I just smiling because your career sounds so similar to mine. As you there in Jordan, I was in Iran. And one thing I didn't see to
yes, you was
Iran
up the
is
street.
I never saw no Aladdin, no Arabian Night. You know the shit that they show you on TV.
No, yeah, it has nothing to do
I
with
didn't
that.
see no
No,
flying
none of
carpet.
that.
That's a lie.
None of that. None of that.
so Andy, so how did you get to play professional basketball? Was it that situation with
Daryl Dawkins.
Darrell Dawkins, or it was before that?
It was before that. How did that happen? I went to play with the thing in Chicago. I did well, but I ended up pulling my hamstring. So I actually went back to school and I said, well, I was going to start my master's. Everybody from home, their parents, hey, you get a master's and you do something. And I was just doing something. So a friend of mine, one of my old teammates, he was playing in Peru. And he's like, yo, what are you doing? I was like, nothing. I just about to sign up for school to start my master's. I was like, he's like, you want to play? I was like, how much? He told me. I was like, send me the ticket. I was there. We won 2 championships down there, and I led the league in rebounding. He led in scoring, and from there got me to. So it was Peru. I went from Peru, ended up going to Paraguay. Went to Uruguay. Went to Venezuela. Everybody know Venezuela is a small bag because you could get cut for any reason. So I've been there, played a few games. I got sick over there because somebody mixed the water. At that time, there wasn't bottled water and all that. You could drink the water. I got sick. I'm looking at halftime, the guy mixing the regular water into the water bottles. I'm like, what are you doing? I got sick, got some kind of virus. I ended up sick, couldn't diarrhea, can't play. They gave me my money and just dropped me at the airport. Like, bye. And then and that's how Venezuela worked. But left from there, I ended up playing in I left from Venezuela and then I got hooked up with Coamo. I know where you know what that is. I played in Puerto Rico. I played in Coamo. Yeah, I played in Coamo for a while. We did pretty well. I played with one of the guys you might know, Tegan. I don't know if you know Alex Black. I played with Alex Blackwell and Christian Dalmau. I know you know who he is.
Yeah. I know both of them.
Yeah, so I played with him. Yeah, they don't pass. So one game, they don't pass, which is cool. See, once you know what you're dealing with, so they don't pass. They shoot all the balls. Probably need 3 more balls, but end up going. They had a game that they shot the ball. I ended up with 29 rebounds. So I got 29 rebounds, and that gave me recognition to end up playing. A coach from the Dominican Republic saw that, and we got to talking. He's like, "Where you from?" I was like, I told him, and I told him where my father was from, and he said, "Yo, you could play there as a native." So I ended up going there. So I ended up playing in the DR, and I was playing in the DR for 10 years every summer as a native player. Every summer, that would be my spot to play and hang out and just do what I need to do. So I used to play all year round. You know what I mean? I didn't really have a lot of downtime like most seasons for 8 to 10 months. So when I finish probably Europe or somewhere else, I end up going to the DR, and then I'll go somewhere else. But I end up playing there. We did well in a lot of different tournaments through the Dominican Republic. I spent 10 summers there on and off playing there.
Man, good. Man, sound like you were setting up yourself for an early retirement.
Hey, I'm all right.
Right.
What was your major? What did you major in?
Hotel, restaurant management, and business administration. I was a double major, and I ain't doing nothing close to that, But that was that.
Happens like that.
It was something to do.
Yeah. Right.
It was something to do to say you get your piece of paper and you figure it out. You just keep figuring it out.
Okay. Did you guys touch the national team yet?
No.
So tell me some experience with the national team. When did you start it? How was it? Some stories. We're still trying to figure out if it was the slap heard around the world in Venezuela, or was it a punch? What was your perspective?
He wasn't on that trip there.
He wasn't on that one? Oh
no. I only had the opportunity to play in the Barbados trip. We went to Barbados, right? Mumba, I think Mumba. Yeah, that was the one we was on.
Yeah,
and
Barbados.
Actually, and no disrespect to nobody else, no disrespect to no other team, but I think that actual team were the most well-rounded in every position. Everybody was playing a real true position, not a 3 playing a 4 or 2 playing a 4. I mean, we were solid all the way down. We had Tyrone, we had Jaja, we had Mumba, Coffee. We had a lot of good players, man.
Pang. Don't forget Pang. He right there.
We had Johnson, we had Calvert, we had Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did have Rick. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
You shouldn't forget Rick.
We had a
So wait, was the Jamaican guy that were calling everybody on the phone in Barbados?
You were prank calling.
The prank calls was crazy.
Give me a preview what happened. Give me a preview how you made the call and how did you get Rick so bad, please.
That was the funniest, brother.
Well, so look, we the Virgin Islands, when we came to play, we was dominating. We was talking a lot of trash all day because we was beating up on everybody. So what I would do was get on the phone and prank call the people that we were about to play. So I would be the opposing team, and I'll call my teammates and talk trash to them. So they'd be vexed with the Jamaican team, the Trinidadian team, everybody. But it was me. I would crank call everybody. So at lunchtime, when we go to eat lunch, like our team, like the people that I prank call, they be watching it. See that man over there, they want something. I was like, no, take it out on the court. You know what I mean? But all the time I was behind it. I like to play a lot of dope and stuff. I mean, if you really know who I am, a lot of people they know I'm a prankster. If you know me, Mumba know, Tyrone, they know. So we was the joke crew, but when we had to play, we were serious, and we didn't play around with them on the court, and we let them know that we were the best team there. They call us all kind of things, but all they had to do was call us winners because we was winning. And shout out to Piety, who was always at the games. The Soul Survivor, she's always everywhere. You know what I mean? But we was dominating in that Barbados thing. We had a very good team. Very good team.
Yeah, we did. I don't. Go ahead.
Wait, I was gonna say with the prank call, you started prank calling our own teammates first, right?
Yeah.
And then
I want a preview of the Jamaican prank call.
That's the funniest, man.
A small preview.
That been years, man. That ain't coming up.
That was the funniest thing ever,
long time.
I could not hold my laughing when he was doing the prank calls, my son. I couldn't.
I even forgot about it till you brought that up. I remember other things about the trip, but since you brought that up, who told you about that anyway?
Them two.
We had a good time.
Yeah.
You remember one of the prank call you do to Rick? He gets so mad that he come out the room, and he started like screaming in the place because he wanted to know whoever it is calling me, come out the room and let me do this right now. So
yeah. He wanted to fight. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I kept messing with him. Yeah.
So
he was trying to fight somebody.
I think the prank call, because of his reaction, it just stuck with him. Like you won't prank calling nobody else no more. It was just Rick.
Yeah.
Because of his reaction. Well, remember that when it's time to play Jamaica, you remember we laying up and Bo got Rick at half court while watching the Jamaican them while they laying up and Bo like this. So which one? Because Bo didn't know you were prank calling.
Yeah.
That's true.
Bo wanted to fight with Rick. Right.
Bo talking to them. See ya? Which one I want something? See ya?
Yeah.
And then man watching Bo and Rick. Rick just there in the middle of the court like this.
Yeah.
Son.
Hands full up. Yeah.
He had on his shades and everything.
Yeah.
And he said it, and Bo like, which one I want something? See ya? And Bo pacing back and forth between them, man. See ya? Which one I want something? Hey, and we there at the other end of the court, rolling, Mr.
Yes. You're right, Pang. That's true.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, man, you're right, Pang. That's true.
It was true. It was so funny, Mr.
That's true.
Rick really wanted that smoke, Mr.
He wanted to fight, man. Rick was pissed. He was pissed. Oh
my God.
Hey, we used to always ask him, so he was like, hey man, you gotta do a prank call, man. So oh my God.
And I'm telling you, if you hear the man on the phone, because I get the pranks too. If you hear the man on the phone, you swear it's a Jamaican for real, You
I want to hear one now. Give me a prank call right now.
You really swear it's a Jamaican.
Man. You swear it's a Jamaican
That's
for
back
real.
in the day.
The son. Jeez.
Oh my God.
That was a fun trip, man. That was fun. That was a good experience.
But then I forgot about that with Bo.
Yeah.
Bo pulls up. He pulled Rick out the lane. I said, Rick, come here. Stand up right there, my son. And he said, my son, see ya. Which one I want something with him, man? I prank calling him, man. Which one I want something? See ya. And Bo pacing back and forth between them. Like, you know how they run in their lap. Bo in the middle, just pacing back and forth to each side of the lap lane. See ya. Which one I want something? Which one I gonna do? He something? No. Hey.
And they even more afraid.
Right. They want to know like what's going on. So what happened to this man?
They had no idea, brother.
Hey, that was a funny trip, brother. That was a funny trip.
That was, my son.
In Barbados, all they feeding we is fly fish, my son. I remember that.
Yeah,
every
fly
night.
Fish.
That's the old fly fish for breakfast, fly fish for lunch, fly fish for dinner. That's
flying
all.
fish.
Listen, that's all they feeding we, my son.
Flying fish alone, my son.
That's crazy.
I guess the next time the next time I'm home, I got really pulled bow. So I say, man, that was me, you know. I'm gonna have to tell him. I ain't never even tell him. I forgot about that.
Oh, he know by now because we done make joke at that. There's so much.
Okay.
You know, another thing that stand out, Barbados gotta be one of the God had to have the best drivers in the world, my son. I remember our bus driver.
Oh, my Joe, crazy, brother.
Hey.
That man was crazy.
The Tiga and the road about this big. And this man is doing no less than 80 going down that road, my son. And this is a two-way lane.
Yeah.
And the road about this, and this man is flying, Tiga. Flying. No brakes, no slowing down, no nothing. Every day.
That's why you eat the flying fish.
Hey, I said my son Barbados gotta get the best drivers, my son. Every day this man flying with to practice, my son. No slowing down for bumps, no, and they ain't got the best roads. This man ain't slowing down a lake, my son. All the way to practice, my son.
That's crazy.
Hey, but Barbados was nice though. We got a chance to go to the beach. We lay out over there, my son.
Yeah,
Barbados was nice.
Yeah, we even went out and everything.
Right, it was nice over there, my son.
Yeah, we went to the club and so.
So Andy, you didn't prank our coffee?
No.
Yeah. I think Pang, you might have somebody because you were rooming with Coffee.
Yeah, because the reason how everybody got prank called because it was like 4 to a room, right? Because it was
4 to a room.
You, Jaja, right. Tyrone, Andy.
Yeah.
And then it was me, Coffee, Johnson, and what was it? The voodoo trainer we had. What was he name? Ari. Yeah.
that's fast.
Hey, Ari was hotting. My uncle hotting. Let me see your pinky finger. And he started doing something with your pinky finger. Can you feel the pain oozing out of your ankle? I'm like, what the fuck? Excuse my language. I'm like, can I feel the pain easing out my ankle? You wiggling my pinky finger? What the hell I got to do with my ankle?
I can crack your back. Anything wrong with you, he can crack your back.
He cracking your back for everything. Everything he grabbing. He late whatever. Even before Sage come out, Ari got Sage. He waving, he smoke over you, and then this man.
Yeah, that's true. You got good memory, so Pang. That's true, brother.
And that's who I was rooming with. Me, Johnson, Ari, and Coffee.
Yeah. Cause remember we was like, man, you gotta prank this room. Then we was telling you to prank our kind of people. And then after we did the whole team, that's when you start pranking the other countries them. And that heck was wild.
Yeah, but the thing about it, I only do it to try to really get everybody riled up to win. But after that, it was so funny. Like, why not? You know, let's see who could get them to stop fighting, and we sit back and watch and laugh. You know what I mean? But you know, especially Tyrone, we all sit back, watch and laugh, and like look at these people arguing, and they don't even know we had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Was that your only national team experience?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Wow, I thought you would have had more national team than that.
Yeah, you know, I thought so at one point, but you know, things happen for different reasons, you know. And we went different ways, and I always wish the national team the best support and so forth. And you know.
Well, you seem like you were playing basketball all year round, so you probably didn't have the time. You know, to take out to play, because it definitely used to happen with a lot of players and their down season, but you didn't seem like you had any down season.
Well, you know, I used to use the Dominican Republic, my kind of down season, because when I played there, I played as a national player, so you had 2 other Americans on the team. I'm gonna tell you an interesting story about that too. I was playing 1 year, and I want to say I break a finger on my hand or something, right? And I couldn't play. So they said, "Well, man, we need another guy to come in to play." So I said, "I know somebody. They're like, who? I said, well, Carl Thomas. So, man, they're flying Carl Thomas. I don't know if you know, he played on the national team too. So me and Carl was on the same team. Carl came in, and Carl came in. Me and him talked for a minute. Said, "Look, this is what I need you to do." Carl came in, and it was very interesting. We in the locker room. Carl got on his headphones and shit like he going to the beach. He ain't listening to nothing what the man, the coach, drawing up on the drawing board or nothing. Carl ain't hearing nothing. He chewing his gum. He's stretching. I said, but wait, this man ain't even watching the plays in my Carl, man, you know? Say, Carl, you guys, he said, Carl got on his shades even talking to me. I said, okay. And this man, like, on some Miami thing. So Carl got in the game and turned it on fire. I think he might have dropped 40 that night.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that car was over there chilling, you know? So that was a great moment to actually bring somebody I know into a situation, and they did well. You know what I mean? He been there. He played over there for a while too. You know what I mean? But it was funny because, and once again, it comes from being in your mode of who you are, not conforming to their thing and what they dumb drills. He know what he could do was score the ball regardless. Just give me the ball and get out of the way.
Yeah.
Man, Carl was doing it from everywhere. Ain't passed to nobody. I think when he started passing, that's when it started to go back.
Shakes
But,
is
you
one
know,
of those players that he definitely like earned his mark, and he said like he's one of them. Like whenever he came to the national team, he was definitely one of them. Was playing to help the VA win, but also this is where I go, get my next job.
Yeah.
Well, that too. But if you know anything about Shake, he was a professional. He's a professional. If you look at
Right.
how he moves and how he carried himself, how he worked out, he was always at a pro level. You know what I mean? And he don't get the notoriety that he should either. You know what I mean? He's always on a professional level. Even how he handled himself and he moved, he was always in shape. You know what I mean? But he handled business. You know what I mean? A lot of people couldn't check Shake at 6'8" and doing anything with him. He's a tweener. I mean, he could do it all.
Right.
You know?
He definitely was a mismatch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. To this day, I still remember he shook me with a crossover when he came St. Croix. Man, I couldn't believe a guy that big could move like that. So I am witness to that. Shake was a tough cover for any big man. Trust me. He even showed me stuff in my crossovers, told me, putting a little bit more hesitation because I was beating too many people on just raw speed. And Shake was like, that good, but if you can stick it a little bit and then change direction, I mean, Shakes was really, really cool with that. He helped me a lot.
Yeah, Shakes definitely had handles on beyond. Like Shakes, a lot of stuff that they do in the NBA now, Shakes was doing way back then, and at his
Absolutely.
size.
Yeah.
John Morant has a move that a go-to move especially when he come in full force on the break, and he have one opponent in front of he would throw it to his right hand, but his body would go this way, so he could start a step to go with the ball. You go, he'll catch you so good because you're gonna follow his body when the
Yeah.
ball already going this way. He just want to throw you off a little. Shake was doing that way before John Morant even pick up a
Yeah. That's
basketball.
a European move. I don't know if you remember Eric Murdoch. He was the one who first started. I first started seeing doing that move, where you send the ball one when you body the next.
Mm-hmm.
Next, yeah.
Crazy move because if you follow the ball, you're gonna get crossed, and if you follow the body, he's gonna hesitate and go.
Pit
So it's
and
a devastating move.
and
Well,
Shakes. Go
I
ahead.
saw that at a different level because what's interesting, I 1 year in the summer league in Santo, I ended up playing. I had these two dudes on my team that were unbelievable. Um, Sham God was a point guard, and I saw him do things with the ball I never see anybody do. I mean, never ever see somebody dribble the ball how he dribbled the ball so low to the ground and could jump and do the things he did. And the second teammate was Steven Jackson. Steven Jackson was my teammate in Santo and San Lazaro. Yeah. So all of these guys I met, play, and know personally, you know what I mean? And actually, for y'all probably who don't know, Steven Jackson is one of the guy is the guy best friend who passed away in
George Floyd.
Minnesota with the cops staying on
Yeah.
George Floyd. That was his friend. You know what I mean? So it's funny how full circle a lot of things come together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, you could write a book, man. You really have some great stories. Like literally, you could write like a book.
Guess what?
Never thought about doing that.
Some of the best story, some
He,
of the best stories you can't tell.
this is only like 5%, you know. This is only like 5%.
I know, and
Although
people in the chat
Some
still asking for a Jamaican impersonation. And you ain't gonna give me one before we done.
some of the best stories you can't tell. Trust me, it's some interesting stories, but some of them you can't tell. You know, I mean, but I have seen a lot. I've totally been to 87 countries. Um,
wow.
but I mean, like I said, the education of that and seeing different things around the world, it helps me to understand people on a daily basis and why you do this, and to know just like this. If to know the fruit of something, you got to know the root of something. If you understand where these people come from, how they grow up, now you understand the way they act. You know what I mean? So it gives you better understanding how to deal with people. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. What you just said, man. That's
It's true.
powerful.
Once I took off and playing basketball and once I came to Jacksonville, like one of my favorite thing when it comes to basketball to do was coming back home and play. Like just even if it's just Sunday morning run. One thing I could one of my experiences personally with you was whenever Lockhart would have his basketball camps, and when camp is over, the big guys coming in, the top dogs coming in to play ball after camp. And that was some of my best experience because I even at a young age I was getting to play with Ayo. Like how I always got up to come home and play. Like how was some of them experience? Like did you ever love coming home to play? Was that always just your favorite place to play?
I mean, yeah, man, ain't nothing like Central Gym, man. And then, as funny as you said that, I felt the same way as well because at that time I looking up at like Macmillan was people I looked at, Big Zorro, to see that man how he to move like he walk on water effortlessly. You got Weapon, you got Weasel who jumps to the moon every day. You know what I mean? I mean to the human highlight film to be in that gym to see some of the things that happen, you would be like, this is not real. I wish they had footage of some of the things that you saw in Central High Gym. I mean, unbelievable stuff. Even for playing with Gunman and a lot of these other older guys that like it was just skill, man. And then to hear the trash talking is to another level, which is make it even better. You know what I mean? Nobody never fought a fight. We just trash talk till the next game, but we gonna turn it up, and it was always good fun, it was good fun.
Yeah, I used to like when the celebrities come back and the legends come back and play and watch how you play. How was you ever play Man League? I
It's
don't
very
remember experience in Man League, so you gonna have to enlighten me on that. I don't think I ever remember seeing you play Man League.
I played 1 year and I ended up having it in the Richards. I played 1 year when I came back from college, and I played down there. But after that,
what team?
after I finished college, damn. I want this. I honestly don't remember what team it was. I don't remember what team it was, but I end up playing then. And after that, like the summertime, like how normally you would come home when I was overseas. I didn't really come home often. Like I would come home for a week, 3, 4 days, and I'll be off to somewhere else. So that's how I end up going all over the place because it's leagues all year round, all over the world. If you just know where to find them, so I would find them and I will off to something next. So I come home, get some new sneakers, some shorts or whatever, get some home cooked food, and I gone again to see the wall.
Let me ask you something personal because this is more overseas. Because you've been to 87 different countries. I haven't even counted yet, but that's a lot of
Well,
countries.
I've been to 40. I've been to 43 just playing basketball.
Okay.
Oh,
So
I think
what
it
was
was
your top?
somebody said I played for Rebels.
Brother Rebels. So let me ask you, what was
I didn't want to say the wrong name and offend nobody. All right.
yeah. What was your top 5 thing you packed that you always take all around the world so people should know? Because I used to have like a top 5 thing I have to pack. I want to hear your top 5 things you used to pack.
Well, Tiga, it's different now because things are different. You know what I mean? I used to have a converter, this big converter that like, you know, it converts a bit like what it says from your regular power
What?
thing, your shaver or wherever your wattage. I used to take that with me because more than likely most of the places their power wattage was higher, different than 220. I always took that.
That's true.
I always had well, I had stuff that I know I could only get for me. You know what I mean? Even if it was like Vicks or stuff I know I need if in case I get sick or you know because you ain't know they doctor system. You got to doctor yourself and being overseas you got to fix yourself with a lot of different things. You got to learn how to survive all the time. You know what I mean? I no, I better not say that. I've been in, I've been in situations that you had to think very quickly, like real quick. When I played in Peru, and that was one of my first gigs, and then we getting ready to go. We had to fly everywhere else. Like you know, some countries you take the bus, some you know you could take but we had to fly everywhere because it was in this place called Arequipa, high up in the mountains, which okay, which was crazy because it was so high altitude that we had to drink this thing called mate de coca, which is the cocaine leaves. No, no drugs, but listen, they put the cocaine leaves in actual hot water. You had to drink that for a week, which helped expand your lungs so you could breathe because it was such high altitude. So when I went down to normal level, I'm running past you, and when the teams come up there, they need oxygen mask the first 10 minutes. But anyway, we was going to another team, and then I would say the mayor of the town had an issue with the rival team or whatever. They had a bomb on the plane that I was in. So
Gosh.
we noticed the pilot left out, and I was like, "But wait, what he doing?" He started the plane, and he just left out the plane. So we got out the plane, and then you see the K9 crew. The K9 crew came on there, and they're like, "No, it's a bomba." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He says, "A bomba. Take the next plane." It's like, "How you gonna take the next plane? I don't know if that got a bomb too." And I mean, I had to get on the next plane, obviously, but it's different stuff like that happened to me that I was, you got to forget it.
That's crazy.
You know, short memory. You know what I mean?
That's
I had to
crazy.
get to where I need to go, and only by plane I had, you know. But that was one of the places that I remember in Peru, in a high altitude, that was crazy.
That's
Wait.
crazy.
Let
That's
me
one
write
of
it.
the craziest story I ever hear. The
Don't
pilot
fly.
jump out.
What?
That's crazy.
You can imagine. You can imagine looking out. You know, you sitting in the plane. You looking out the window. You see the pilot blazing across the strip.
Ask if pilot out. Pilot said, "I ain't dying. I ain't dying."
No, sir.
You
I
ain't even
am.
want to know half of that story.
Man, you could have my bags. You could. But I am out ahead, brother.
But you still need another plane to go back, so you ain't
Hey,
got no choice but to get on a plane.
Where you was?
Peru.
I will live in Peru, boss. Can't get me on another plane, boss. I will live in Peru.
La Bamba.
La Bamba, no
La Bamba.
sir.
Yeah.
You come on your time, but you gotta catch another plane, La Bamba back there. No sir.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the
Burgos.
pilot,
Yeah, Burgos.
at
La
the time I
Bamba.
see that pilot running away. You better believe I could be following him.
What?
That's crazy.
Oh man,
That's
that's insane.
insane. That's a
That's
good
a
story.
crazy experience.
That's a
That's a
story.
crazy experience. That's crazy.
I remember. We are going China, someplace. I think we are going China. You remember flight them man come like a couple days later?
Mm-hmm. The man
Them
who
man, them man whole flight them man up on the airport in it was it Santo Domingo?
I don't
Some
remember where it was, but that man get
some
hold.
some place, Mister. Take them man passport, everything, and they've been in a
Wow.
room for almost 2 days on the airport.
2 days?
Oh,
Quarantine.
them man almost didn't leave. Honestly.
Wow. That's
It's he
crazy.
went to them, right? Somebody had to get
Yeah.
them.
Somebody had to leave China to go back there and get him. And even when they went back to get him, they struggled to get him out of there.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
crazy.
insane, brother.
That's scary.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but that's a crazy story. I've never heard nothing like that, Andy.
No.
Come on a plane, the pilot running. I wish I could have seen that episode.
I wonder if he ever fly another plane, like if they allow he to fly for them again. Cause he run leave the passengers, he ain't want them no nothing. He just take out.
No, the man ain't want nobody. He just step over everybody's leg, open the back door, and was gone. And that, so I'm like, nigga, you know, where you going? You know,
He said nothing. This man he said nothing.
No.
Man.
no,
Hey.
no, he was out.
I was
He don't-
going after that dude, brother. I was
He
gonna go
don't-
after him, listen.
He don't believe the captain will go down with the ship at all. He
Yeah, he believe
he
it
didn't
for
sign
real,
up for that. He
Yeah,
didn't
fam.
sign up for that.
No,
No, sir.
Question: was that before? Because you had a 9/11 story. Was that before 9/11 or was that after?
that was before 9/11. I was just
Oh.
actually that was my first overseas plane type of thing, and I was like, it was crazy. I mean, it's like, damn, you know.
Well, I
That
don't
was-
blame.
yeah.
I don't. If before 9/11 he needed blows, after 9/11 I don't blame you at all. Listen.
No, that's before 9/11. But I mean, it's so many different things. The more you talk about, think about it, that happened. Like, you know, you ain't got enough free nights and weekends for these kind of stories. But you know, it's interesting. Trust me, it's interesting.
That's crazy. That's a good one.
And that's your first year too.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Crazy. Wow. That's the way to start your professional career, my son.
Welcome to being a pro.
Yeah.
Earlier you mentioned when you finally got overseas and some of them players that you played against in college and stuff. You run into a lot of them overseas. Like, what's that like when you see each other when you see a player that you know on the opposing team?
Well, I used to have a saying, all name and no game. That's how I used to look at them. There was lunch for me. And I used to take it personal because you might have
Eat
come
food.
from a big name school, you were lunchtime. And I'm gonna tear you up. And that's how I used to go out there. I remember looking down the court and I was actually Tegan and Enrico. And I looked down the court warming up. I said, the dude looked familiar. When we come to do the jump ball, I was like, damn, that's Richard Dumas. He looking crazy. He was out of his mind, and obviously he was on that stuff. So I said, well, you know, too late. I can't wait for you to sober up. I'm gonna take this ball and score while you go through your situation. So I mean, it was Darnell Robinson. I mean, it was a lot of different. Me and what's the name went head up at a good game. Tractor Trailer in Puerto Rico as well. That was a very good game.
Maurice Taylor.
God rest his soul too. He passed away. He was a good friend of mine. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of dudes like solid dude. Yeah. I don't know if you know Shelly Clark, another big dude that was solid from Chicago. You know, I mean, these are some warriors. You know what I mean? It's big and like the ref wouldn't even blow the whistle. He like let them two big bulls just fight it out and see what happens. You know what I mean? And they just let us play. You know what I mean? But Puerto Rico is a very good league. I definitely, you have to play every day, Tiga. You know that. I mean, I would say the top overseas league, Puerto Rico definitely in the top three easily. I would give Puerto Rico the nudge over Argentina, but Argentina was very professional as well. But that's the closest thing you would get, I would say, to NBA because they took it that serious. and the local players was just as good. They were good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They were good players. The Puerto Rican dudes could play. And they ain't taking it from you. They got a lot of heart. They gonna play. They'll fight you too. You know what I mean? You really gotta let them know that you ain't playing with them for them to like, okay, they show you
Yeah.
their respect.
They'll run over you. It's the only place in the world I've ever played where every team in the league every year, even the last place team, believe they can win the championship. It's crazy how competitive over there is.
Well, they're not just playing for the team; they're playing for their tongue. That's like if you are playing for Williams, and Light, Mumbidu, and they take that. They're prideful. That's you there, Jordan. You know what I mean? I stayed in a town that had a bakery, and next to a cemetery, and but you got old ladies coming by to bring you a little food. Hey, we're gonna win this game, and they took this seriously. You know what I mean? That was something to really to the heart. You know what I mean? And I kind of wish the Virginians could as well do that too, so we could get some of these kids off the road, off the street into something progressive and positive. Because the less you take away from something, you're gonna find destruction. You know what I mean? That's
right.
obviously what you're getting. They might as well build more shooting ranges with all the shooting that's going on down there, because nobody ain't even working and shooting for real. But it's unnecessary violence and foolishness. You know what I mean?
Mm. Well, that's
Well
a good
said.
way to segue. That's a good segue into like give us some of your ideas or some of the things that you think that could happen for the Virgin Islands and that could help the kids today.
Well,
Good
I mean, you
question.
definitely gotta get the leaders involved on the same page. And when I say the leaders, not necessarily the politicians, but the people in the different neighborhood who is the point person, the OGs, the one that who really know what's going on. You got to get them involved to pull these youngsters. Hey, look, cut the foolishness out. Let me start something productive. You know what I mean? But then when you start something productive, now the government's supposed to be backing them to help them. You know what I mean? Because if they're busy doing something productive, they ain't got time to do non-productive stuff. You know what I mean? You gotta have some kind of outlet for them. I mean, everybody needs an outlet. While we were growing up, we had all these different leagues, and you had a league central playing this, PAL playing. What happened to PAL Boys Club? Ain't none of that. You know what I mean? Ain't none of that. Do robbing and thieving and carjacking.
Mm.
Ain't no league.
Right.
Like back then too, like it's not like those stuff didn't happen when we were coming up, but not so frequently. It was just like a small group of boys from each area, but then all the rest
Right.
boys out playing basketball, out playing softball. Like majority of the boys doing constructive things. But now it seems like the roles have reversed.
Reverse, yeah.
Majority of the boys on the streets, and there's one or two boys from each neighborhood, joining a sport, joining the choir, joining band, joining, and it's just lesser and lesser, and more destructive kids out there than before.
I want to share something with you about this thing. And this ain't a joke. It might sound funny, right? But we're talking about a serious subject. But I have read that they had two tribal war in Africa, right? And they used to just kill, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. And the women them came together from the two tribe, and them man lock up shop until the war ceased. So they went on strike. I forgot how long it was, 6 months, just lock up shop. And you want to believe them man stopped the violence that they couldn't get inside?
When you
Well,
say
I mean,
when you say lock up shot, what do you mean?
You know what he mean, Punk.
you
Okay,
know
all
what
right,
he means.
got you.
You ain't getting
But I
none.
mean, but
So I
I
was
mean
just
that
like,
had,
maybe some of VI women them need to do the same thing. If I had two out there too busy killing each other, we locking up shop, brother. We
yeah.
could
Well,
just get
that's one way. I mean,
running around the place.
whatever works, and that's something everybody could do because that don't cost anybody anything. That could be an option too. But I mean, majority of people in prison is because of something to impress or to get in the shop. You understand what I'm
Hey,
saying? So that's an option too. You know what I mean? They're trying to get something to impress somebody else to do something else. But whatever works, but it has to stop. And the leaders need to support these programs if that's what they say they're gonna do. A lot of them say the lip service. They talk. You know what I mean? Start doing. You know what I mean? Start doing. Give back. What happened to the little league? Then what happened to all these little things? Why the tracks look like that? Why all these different things look like that? You know what I mean? People talk too much.
Mm,
It's true.
man.
No, but we.
Probably still have the
Hey,
lockup job.
yeah, Pang still he confused about that one.
Hey,
No,
Andy,
but
you
that's
no,
made
a true story. Pam, that's a
no,
true story, you know.
no.
No joke.
What stuck to me is Andy said, that don't cost you a thing. Hey, that might cost some of that woman their life, brother. But like you said, you started off right though. It might sound funny, but they got it done. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And but something just needs to be done, man. Like something gotta help with these kids, man. Something because it's just getting ridiculous. When somebody could say, with all this COVID-19 going on, and the little island deaths are being caused by gun violence more than COVID-19. That's man, that's an insane comment or like current
It
event,
is.
my son.
It is.
it
I
is.
think I think it's time now for we as leaders and like everybody said, we need to give these young people a forum so that man can talk to man. I think they just have so much thing built in. We need to give them man something like what we're doing now. Probably have like a young people forum to see what going through these man mind because something we having a big disconnect. Either we ain't listening, either they ain't listening to us, but we ain't meeting common ground. So we have to
You
find a way now where we can just, even though we might be the elder ones, sit down, listen to them, whether they right or wrong, and just give them their time to speak. Because I think the basic thing happening right now is communication. Our kids them have very poor problem solving skills. You know what I'm saying? People will actually get killed over posting something on Facebook. That's ridiculous.
it's Andy said something, and I think that's the only way it's gonna be done. You have to get in the different communities, and you got to get in contact with the OGs. The OGs is the one they could kind of get to the youth them, because a lot of the youth them look up to certain people that's out there and stuff like that. It's hard because it's a different mentality at that age, and then when you get to our age, you mature and you change and you realize the stuff that you used to do back then, it wasn't really worth it. But the most important thing is getting to the kids them, and you have to find a way to get to them, because a lot of the kids them, there's a lot of violence. If somebody, you got to go back to that age. If somebody kill my brother or my friend and stuff like that, you have that mentality like revenge. You gotta find a way to break that cycle. It's a lot of code to the streets. There's a lot of stuff that goes, between the lines that some kids might not buy into, but it's hard, but you gotta find a way to break that lock and to get to them so they could see the future. They just living in the now, because 15 and 20 years later, some of the kids then that survive, they're gonna look back on it and realize, what? It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. Some of my friends that I lost to gun violence and stuff like that, I think back all the time. I'd be like, man, it wasn't worth it, because to be honest, they don't even say remember them. Most of the time, they don't remember that some of the people that passed away. Their family will remember, but most of the time, nobody don't pay homage. Nobody don't talk about them anymore. So it's like it's tough. It's tough. It's a tough road, but somehow we gotta get through to them. Somehow, man. And it's about getting in contact with the OGs, man, and having these kids sit down and talk to them. Another thing is get a group of them and take them to the morgue. Take them to the morgue. Make them see the dead bodies. Make them see them doing autopsies and the bodies and stuff like that.
Mm.
That's the reality that's the reality of the situation. Maybe it might open some eyes or something. Take them to the prisons. Make them see the prisons.
Let me
Something.
let me show you a little bit of the power of sports. I'm gonna say sports. I'm gonna just relate to basketball. Sports to bring unity in a lot of stuff, right? Sports bring something to do. Sports bring fun. Sports bring competition, entertainment, right? I remember when I used to go ATA. Remember when I get ATA, I didn't go ATA playing ball. I start playing ball when I was in ATA. I remember Halloween come around, egging season. Like
That's crazy.
you can't miss the bus. You gotta make sure when you get out of school, you gotta run to that bus quick and get on that
Ah,
bus. And that happening when you in school, and that happening when you get off the bus when you get home to your neighborhood, wherever, right? Once I start playing basketball, I used to get egg. I got egg in my school clothes. I get egg by then suffer rally man, missing the bus one day, walking up the road, get egg going to taxi, and then I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Once I start playing basketball, I never get egg again by nobody. Not people in my neighborhood, not people in around surrounding neighborhood where I live. Like it was just a different. No, that's punk. It's just a different vibe. You know what I mean? Like you just they don't understand the power of sports, man. The unity, the like we always talk about on here that we don't go anywhere. Once we get good, we could go anywhere and play basketball.
it's
Whether
true.
it's whether it's a like a beefing, a
Rivalry.
rival, a rivalry going on. Yeah, no, that man come to play basketball. Let that man play. You know what I'm saying? And whatever beef going on, it cease for even if it's just for that game. You know what I mean? And
It's
that's
true.
that's the power of sports, man.
You're right about that.
What else you need to invest in? You know what I mean? And you start from young. Because once these kids get to a certain age, I know I say talking to the OG. Once these kids get to a certain age, I don't even think the OG them could get through to them.
Because
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, like you said, yeah. When you get to a certain age,
You got you
you
got
might lose them.
right. You got
Yeah,
to catch them
you're right.
all in my son. And little leagues. You got to start from young, my son. And just some of these coaches, my son, you coach them kids all the way up wherever they go. You coach them and just try to keep them on the right path, my son. It hard and it's still tough even when they're playing sports because when you're in playing and you got to go back home in your environment where a one parent home, um your brother is a gang member, you seeing what he doing, you know your sister, you got a sister that they out in the street, talking to different dudes, that's why it's you gotta watch what you do around kids when you're home. You gotta watch what you say, watch the stuff that they watch the stuff that they listen to. It easy to get caught up, my son. Easy to get caught up.
That is true.
Now
That
we
is
gotta
true.
interject the money content. I think it's so easy now for these young men to be making money on the street level. You can't now come and tell these guys gonna work McDonald's and them thing when they'll they'll easy. We have to find jobs where maybe McDonald's and stuff were good for us when we were growing up, but ain't good for them man no more. These man minds are thinking on a bigger level, and we have to create bigger and better ideas and giving them the opportunity to gain these type of money. I think too many times the older generation, we like to tell them, okay, you gotta work your way up and stuff like that. But as the generation keep going, everything is moving faster and faster and faster. Even our kids, when you watch them and they're there on these phones, they're doing things on these phones that I can't even dream about doing. My daughter to do some stuff, I just watch her. So her mind now is done moving at an accelerating rate. We can't now pulling them back down by telling them to this. We need to create more innovative things that attract their mind. They like computers, they like these things that we teach them now to be innovators and start creating and stuff like that. Start teaching these young men, they like money, let me start teaching them economics. I don't care how you make your money, but this is what you need to do with it. Buy a piece of land, buy something that appreciate in value instead of all these cars and stuff like that. We ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? We still putting them in this old slavery days, like, you know what? Back in my days, I used to plant and do this and do this. Yeah, these kids ain't listening to that no more, people.
No, you're
Right.
right. That's some great points you guys made, man. That's some really good points you guys made. So, you know,
Andy, you good? I don't. Hey, let me tell you something about these two dudes up there. They'll go 4 hours with you or not. Don't play around with these men. You let me know.
Hey, listen. It's not we to go 4 hours. We to just go the interview to go.
I know.
We don't follow along with the interview. Them man gotta share their stories. If it take 3 hours to tell your story, it take 3 hours.
I
What
look. I will not leave tonight until I hear Andy do a Jamaican impression. He has to give me one. Andy, give me one, please.
That guy has left the building years ago, man.
Oh man.
Andy,
But it,
have you ever played against Timmy?
When we was younger, before he before he went to college.
Mm. Ever play against him? Pick up games after college?
No, no, we were in different spaces. You know, he was doing great things at Wake Forest, and you know, doing what he was doing.
let
Johnson
me
say
ask
hail
you.
up. On see if you see Johnson comment on the down below. Johnson say hail up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
let me
it's a
ask you,
door.
who was your
Yeah.
because you are so big and powerful, and like who was your Virgin Island top 5 person that gave you the toughest challenge in terms of guarding, going against them? Give me your top 5. That's very interesting to me because you are so dominant, but we had good big man also. You know you had Haywood. Hopefully you played against him. You had Jackson who just spoke. Did you had a matchup with him? I mean, who was your
Yeah, Jackson was my teammate in high school. You know, he was tough. He's left-handed, so he was crafty. You know, but you know, good dude, strong. But he get mad real quick. So when he get mad, he get flustered. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
top 5. Let me see. I mean, like back then, I was coming up, and for me at that time, who was considered really big, because I didn't fully grow, like got the full growth spurt till I finished kind of college. So for me, was, I mean, ain't nobody go God Zorro and a whole nother level of stuff. But like I would say, it'd have been like Weapon, because he used to play the 4 and the 5, but he was a freak of nature too. It was like we used to call him the Cuban frog because he just spring up out the air and do different things. Uh, who else? Mac was always tough. You can't let him catch and shoot because you know he throwing up his hands in the air talking about for years he doing this. He shoot from the locker room. But we definitely had a lot of good competition. But I honestly didn't really find an actual person my size to match up with. So most of the time I was really, I would say, undersized with who I was checking or they checking me. You understand what I'm saying?
in
Mm.
terms of talking trash? Because you did say a lot of trash talking. Who was your best trash talking person? Because he would have talked trash too.
Man, all day, man, all day. That whole lineage, yeah, Mac, yeah, man. Man, Mac is definitely up there. Who else talk trash? Tyrone. Tyrone talk trash all day. I think that's what me and Tyrone get along. Um, Tyrone talk you out your game if you let him. Who else? Who else? Oh no, everybody else was like pretty quiet, pretty cool. Like Lampy didn't talk much, but he could play. He'd kill you. Frame didn't talk much. He didn't get into trash talking. He just did what he did. Zora didn't really talk trash that much, but you couldn't really talk trash to him because you couldn't do nothing with him. I mean, you just had to be mad that he you trying your best and he doing what he do and you can't stop him. You know what I mean? He made it look so easy all the time, man. It was like a ballet dancer type of thing. You know what I mean? Like so,
Yeah.
but you know, he probably more laughing at you and you mad and ain't nothing you can do about it. You know, so. um Otherwise than that, I didn't really have a full matchup of someone my size really to for me to say I have a actual opponent to say match up with, you know.
I I honestly would have paid money to see you and Mac match up.
I telling you, I just
That would
seeing
be
it in
Well,
my head
crazy.
right now. That would have been a
yeah, well,
great.
yeah, I mean, Mac had a size to him, but still Mac was on the size to me. And just like I'm out of my element going out there on that 3-point line messing with him. Because Mac might not even take a step or two over the 3-point line and he's shooting it. You know what I mean? But I think down low I got him because I could have jump him and I was bigger than he was. So I wouldn't even consider that a fair matchup because we play different positions. You know what I mean?
So two reasons why. Because of he bringing you out your comfort zone and when you and D, And we talking about trash talking because when it comes to Mac trash talking, you know Mac got his sisters in the back trash talking you when
Oh
you
yeah.
playing it. He got a whole lot of
He
already
he he
trash
he
talking.
he, had,
They're
he
the
got a
boss.
whole West
They're
rally
the
and
boss.
the entourage. He got everybody with him, you know. And if you know Mark, he got a very deep voice. Like, you know,
Yeah.
so you know, that's my boy, man. But you know, when he start, you know, you gonna hear me. You gonna hear me, you know.
That's true.
You're the boss, man. Have a cross.
Take a seat.
Yeah, he always. That's when that came out. He like, yeah, I got the keys. I starting up the boss. That was his thing, you know. Taking them to school. That's his thing right
Yeah.
there.
So,
I don't know if that's where Mac get a bus driver thing from, but I remember the N1 shirts. The N1
Yeah.
shirts was
That's
famous for that
that's where that
bus.
came from. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to
so
buy. I remember when Foot Locker used to have the N1 shirt. Every time a new one come out, Mister, I gotta go and cop one, Mister. The
Yeah. He
N1
said,
was
yes, yes.
yeah, me too, my son.
the no face man on your shirt. Of course, man.
Mm.
You know, doing some type of cross
Look
or
at the
dunk or
classes.
something, man. Them used to be
Yeah.
the shirt, yo.
So Andy, let me ask you: when you were growing up and even through college, did you what NBA players you tried to style your game after? You know, all of we always love the NBA. Who you looked up to? Who you tried to pattern your game off of? You know, obviously the big one for me would be like Shaq because you used to tear down the rim. But did you have
Uh,
anybody else in terms of you wanted to be like or pattern your game like them?
yeah, absolutely. I used to work on my vertical because of Charles Barkley. I love to see how Karl Malone run the floor and was a physical specimen. We were more like similar and a lot. I love Charles Barkley because he was a warrior. You know, he was gonna get it done. You know what I mean? I definitely love. Um, I love to watch Dominique dunk on people, tear stuff up. So it was also one of my favorite all-time players was Olajuwon. To see someone so with his footwork so effortless, you know what I mean? These were the
Yeah.
players that I looked at and looked at a lot of moves and stole moves and created my own, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So those are players I definitely looked at.
Do you think the game, in terms of the physicality, me and Pang said this all the time. Do you like to watch the NBA now? I mean, something missing because back then you just talk about the physicality of all the players then, and now today pretty much everyone is like a supermodel on the court. What you think about that? What was your feeling with that?
I don't even watch the NBA. It's trash. Who mad? I don't watch it because it's sugar coated. You can't touch people. There's a lot of prima donna stuff. I mean, it's just it's you can't guard these. The worst person in NBA is the best person anywhere else. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't
Yeah.
guard nobody on a one-on-one coverage. So and if you can't guard one-on-one, you can't touch them to slow them up. How do you expect to? It doesn't make any sense for me. You know what I mean? I
That's
just
true.
don't. It's everybody about shooting threes and looking pretty. And it's really no really true big man anymore. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? The game, and not saying the game shouldn't expand, everybody should shoot threes or whatever. Nothing wrong with that. But it starts inside out. Anybody who understands basketball, it starts
That's right.
inside out. But ain't really no inside, so everybody outside. So it's just like one big horse game or one, you know what I mean? It's
That's
silly.
what it
You know what I
is.
mean?
Big house
You
game.
know, I know you just said ain't nothing wrong with everybody shooting trees. I think there's a lot wrong with that. I just cannot. I can't stand that the way how they play basketball now.
Yeah, he's the worst man.
Man, just come down and just jacking trees and just you might pass the ball inside, but you really trying to pass it outside.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Really?
because nobody is trying to, like you said, go beast mode down in the paint and man, that brought excitement to the you bring up two of the even though Karl Malone his game was a little more finesse, but Charles Barkley wanted that smoke.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's true.
he wanted the smoke when it came to real fight. If you ever watch a heat fight, he really wanted the smoke when it comes to real fight. But he definitely wanted that smoke down in that paint when it comes to posting up
The
and
back
and
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
and, and
that's
and
true.
even trying to guard the other post player. You know, he wanted that smoke, but nobody wanted smoke. Like nobody, they ain't running plays. It's just a whole bunch of pick and roll and one. That's it. That's basketball
It's a
right there.
supermodel. That's, I, this have been I have fall asleep in more NBA games than ever in my life. And ain't because I get old. The game just boring. It just
Right.
looks the same when you're watching it first quarter and fourth. You just miss all the intensity. Like, dude, what is
Too
going on
friendly,
here?
man.
This don't
It's too
look right.
friendly now.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then you don't know what's a foul no more. And flopping Brand keep flopping when nobody touch him. And James Harden keep kicking out the leg and traveling and nobody cares. And I'm like, damn, man. Those guys are good. Me taking nothing away from them, but the game just look different. It's
And I
hard
don't
to
know.
watch.
I don't know how people are being. You should hear some of these dudes arguing. How these don't want. They don't want to say James Harden don't be traveling with his step back.
What?
Like, how is that not a travel? Like, what? This man taking like he jumping like 3 different times before he jumped to take a shot.
Yeah, now ain't nobody to travel more than James Harden in the NBA. Not a man. It's
Three,
crazy.
the 3 top travelers in the NBA are 3 of the best players. The top 3 best players in the NBA: LeBron
Not
James. I ain't even on Greek Freak. I ain't even gonna try and pronounce his name. Greek
mm,
Freak and James Harden. The
yeah.
3 best players are the 3 top players in traveling, and they don't get a car. They don't get called traveling.
They never
The
call
traveling call.
traveling. Every time LeBron and Freak get a ball in the open court, they take 2 steps before they dribble. They never call it. It's just
Never.
it's ridiculous.
Well, that's the face of the NBA. How they gonna call it? I mean, it's you talking about from a playing standpoint, but you gotta look at they're the face, so they're gonna get more leeway than most people with a lot of things.
True.
So it's about money, ain't about the rules. It's about money that keeps making more money. You know, they sell more T-shirts and jerseys, doing it the wrong way than doing it the right way, which ain't right, but that's how they see things.
Zora said he went to a game and fall asleep. How you do that?
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's that bad, Z. It's that bad. I tell you,
Not
it's
bad, listen.
Oh
ridiculous.
man.
It's hard to watch, man, as a pure basketball fan. And we came through the same generation where we had contact, where you could get bumped. Like dudes like Jackson, Andy and Jackson, me wanted no piece of them guys when they set screen and you don't know, you go feel it. No, you can't touch nobody. It's crazy. Nobody get hit no more. Nobody gets hit. It's just weak. It's just really
Yeah,
sad.
it definitely is. Definitely is. So how close are you to basketball now in this present time? Do you do any coaching, any playing, any like how close are you to basketball?
But from here to the Sahara Desert, I ain't close to nowhere.
So it is all over for you in basketball.
Absolutely. I
Well,
am, I probably I don't even step on a basketball court because it would trigger me to want to play, and then I'm not in a play shape type to do that. You know what I mean? So I
what
wouldn't
year
do
was
that.
your last year
Of what?
playing?
Professional.
Yeah, professional.
Uh, 30, 35. All right, 34, 35. I'll
What are
be, how
you?
old I'll be?
What year was that? You ain't got to tell me your age. Just what year was that?
Oh, man. It's about, damn. Let me think. Maybe about almost 15 years ago.
Mm. What what
15,
what
16 years.
what year you leave college? Let me go from there. Because you say you played 10 years. What year you leave
96.
college? 96. Okay, so you
95. Like, I finished in 95. I walked in 96.
okay, so you finished play around 2007, 2008.
No. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what kind of you say you went school for restaurant management? What kind of work you do now?
Uh, I just make sure people stay safe.
Okay. One thing I know about you, you always you're a prestige man. You know, you remember our running in Jacksonville? And
I
where?
think I was somewhere doing something down there, and I ran into you in a club or something or somewhere.
in a
I
club.
was
Yeah, you scared him.
And and
You
and,
scared him.
and Andy put your hand on my head like this, yeah, my son. I'm like, man, who the hell get him that big ass hand on my head in the club? When I turn around, my boy there in I don't say I won't say you wasn't a full blown suit, but you were definitely dressed to the max, like shirt and tie and the heck. And we there in a gangster reggae club, and this man there, yeah, in shirt and tie and the heck. So I know you about your business. You were in Jacksonville about your business.
yeah, I was in transition from doing something.
Facts.
What club was that, P?
That was
Jasco?
that was the real thing, the man.
The real thing, the real thing. Okay, okay. So that's still
Yeah,
out. Still going out.
man. The real it's nothing like what we grew up with, Tegan. Real thing is a bunch of Yankee and they don't play a bunch of rap and they don't play reggae still. It'll be it's the same Jamaican DJ them, the same DJ from the time you were there, still DJing in there. But they got catered to the demographic, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
The island people them kinda backing off for the real thing, and the Americans bombarding the real thing because the real thing is the only club in Jacksonville. Well, one of the few clubs in Jacksonville that's still going after 2 o'clock. And then they at the time illegally they was the only club serving liquor after 2 o'clock. So that was like the after spot. The Yankee them would go to their regular clubs and so, and then two
Head to
o'clock Tegan, like 2:15, 2:30, the line long again upstairs.
Jeez.
Just long round the corner because everybody coming from the other spot because they know they still serving drinks down there. Yeah, you could smoke in the club as well. Down in one of the only clubs you could smoke in there, and so people are coming, and then eventually all the island people them just start, just like grew out of it. I can just say they grew out of it because I definitely grew out of it, and we went
Yeah.
from going like every weekend to just like now I don't
That
go
was
at
nice,
all.
though. I can like our college days was nice, man. Taking all them Yankee girls to dance reggae and they can't dance it out of beat.
And that was like the only reggae club at the time, so that was nice. And out of all places, that's where I run into Andy.
That's crazy.
Never see this man. Never see this man in Jacksonville a day in my life, Mister. My boy there in the real thing, talking it out.
So where you stay now, Andy? What part of the state? I didn't even ask you
I
that.
I live in Maryland.
Oh, okay, okay, DC.
I live in Maryland. Yeah,
How's the atmosphere up there?
hot, hot.
Hot
You
everywhere.
know,
In terms of the
hot.
COVID,
As far as that, I mean, up here was shut down more than Florida and everywhere else. So it's not really fully open back up, but it's not like how Florida got re-locked down. You know what I mean? Because they kind of got a hold of it, and this was the last to kind of go through the stages to open back up. So, I mean, it's just part of the new norm, as they say. You know what I mean? It is what
but
it
here's
is.
my question.
Oh,
Here's my
before
question.
before you ask a question, Florida never re-locked down. After that
That
first
was,
lock,
that was my question.
after that first lockdown,
Well,
is when they open. Like I said, when the first lockdown, they closed down all the stores. All the stores shortened the open time and whatever the case may be. Once that changed, once they open back up the stores, open back up the beaches, the bars, everything, the only thing that got shut down was the bars. They didn't close back down the store, they didn't apply curfew, like nothing. Like people are out there like living their life like we don't have COVID, honestly.
And that's my question to you, to the three of you, because I mentioned this couple of times and a lot of people think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you the question I asked Andy, and I want you to tell me what you think. When they had the George Floyd thing, right? He died, rest in peace. The country was never locked down. They had people out there rioting all over the world. They was rioting every night, spitting in policeman's face, jumping up and carrying Atlanta, breaking in places all over the world. We was watching this on TV. Some people were wearing masks, some people wasn't. And they riot for about what, couple months? Pang?
Yeah, for
And you
about a
telling
month
me
or two.
The whole world was rioting, but yet the COVID numbers never rise. But as soon as they opened the bar and the store, it rose 33%. Does that make sense? That don't make no sense. How is that possible? So we find the cure then. Close all the bars, everybody stop drinking rum and stay home. That gotta be the cure.
So you're looking for the cure, but you're not following the money. Anything you want to find an answer to anything, follow where the money coming from, or who stands to gain from the money. Should be your question.
That's a good one.
Tegan, somebody posted that on your on Facebook on one of your when you wrote something, follow the money, and he said follow the money.
I'm just saying, it's just common sense just to think. You telling me the numbers never rose during all of those riots all over the world, in South Africa, in London, Europe.
How come the homeless people ain't got COVID?
And I see a dude today by a gas station, and his mask so dirty. He the only one who mask. he the only one mask to get you up, and he come back out. I was like, Jesus Christ, and he healthy. This thing is crazy.
I'll just said, oh, go ahead, Andy.
Follow the money.
Bang, this dude mask black. And
It's supposed to be white.
Yeah.
Hey, look, think about that. You ever think about like when we get hurricanes, when there's some type of natural disaster or whatever the case may be, and you hear all these deaths and stuff like that. Why did there never be homeless people, man? Like
they got 6 cents.
My son, like it's never you hearing stories about homeless people dying, getting hurt. Like you said, no home. You haven't heard no homeless people catching COVID or whatever the case may be. Like you just don't see it, my son. Like what these people do, they just have that real survival mode, my son.
It's crazy, man. That's facts, like what you say. It is facts. We just need to just sit down and meditate and think a little bit because something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop.
It had a lot of shady stuff happening in Florida and stuff too, man. People went to get tested and then the line was too long, sun was too hot, and they left, and then they got a phone call, saying that they tested positive for the virus. So just a lot of crazy stuff happening.
Wait. Passed. So they didn't even get to the top of the line to get tested, and when they went home, they got a phone call.
Yeah, that's what he said, man. Hey, I'm telling you, there's a lot of shady stuff happening. A lot of shady stuff. A guy died in a motorcycle accident, and it was on the news. This was a big thing too. The family was really pissed off. A guy died in a motorcycle accident, and they put his death under COVID, and it was a big issue here in Orlando. So there's a lot of stuff going on, man. It is what it is.
Follow the money. That's all I can say. My boy Andy said, follow the money. That's all we can say. Stay safe.
Okay.
Hey, don't get me wrong. There is a virus out there. I stay safe. Make sure you doing our thing. But you gotta keep your eye open as well too, because something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Something just ain't right.
Zora said, "We need you." What he said? We need you to hear your story. The frame. I don't know what going on here.
What is that?
Did you say Bonehead is the frame? They used to call it the frame.
Yeah, that's what we call Bonehead. That was his nickname. So one of them. He had multiple. So
I think he talking to Bonehead, but he put it in the overall comment.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to have you on here. We need to hear your story, the frame.
Yeah. Okay. Cause he said, "Pan, give the frame on."
Yeah. We're gonna get his answer.
All right, yeah.
If he willing to come on, we're gonna get his on.
Hey, let me ask you one more question real quick, Andy. You ever had anybody that imitate you? Like Pang had an imitator, I had an imitator. I don't remember if you remember Scar. You remember Scar, Mumba?
Scar.
In Complex. He used to
yeah.
He could do my crossover. He tried to shoot like me. He tried to walk like
Scar.
me. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Anybody like that, Jackson?
No, not really. I want that privilege, and nobody wanted to imitate me.
Frank, you didn't remember Scar?
The name is right there, but I know I can't put a face to the
My
name.
son, the man used to do everything I had to do. His shot just won't make, but the crossover, the everything, pan.
He played for Complex, right?
He played Mama. I didn't think he made the team. We gotta ask you about that. I didn't think he made
Oh
it.
man, you know what? Damn, did he? I want to see.
He
So,
probably did after I left. I don't, but not when I was there.
Zorro. So he said, "Go ahead watching." So Zorro,
Yeah.
let him know we would like him to have. We like to get you on the show.
Yeah,
So
man,
did you
you
guys
get
ask
a
Andy
nice
about
little
his top
audience,
five?
man. You probably get
No,
some of the biggest audience we had in a while. That's good. You sure you
yeah.
ain't want to be Jamaican for week one time?
No Jamaican. You
nah,
guys asked.
he left the building.
You guys asked his top
Y'all got
five.
me, yeah. Huh?
Oh, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead and say what you were saying.
I said he probably left the building. Top five what? Players what? Top five
We
what?
always ask for your top five VI player, your top five NBA player, and we can add in women as well, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
had him women.
yeah.
Huh.
Don't feel bad. Your top
Don't
five,
feel
not
bad, right?
your top five.
Top five. Okay. Interesting. Pioneers women. Bianca. Those two definitely stood out in my mind. Men. Zorro for sure. Tyrone. Weapon was Timmy, of course. That's five.
Four.
4.
Hmm. Um. Um. I gotta say, Carl Thomas. He's one of my favorites. Definitely. Definitely.
NBA. Your 5 favorites from the NBA.
Yeah. Easy. Um. Chris Webber, Kevin Garnett, Rasheed Wallace, Charles Barkley. Um. Definitely Karl Malone.
I love your list.
That's like pretty. That's like
I'm
a
actually
gangster
surprised with your
list.
list. I was very surprised because you spoke so highly about Hakeem Olajuwon and he didn't make your five.
Yeah, but definitely. But Akeem is a special place. But he's definitely up there if we did 10. But that's what I actually. Those people were during my era, so I had the opportunity to play and meet and deal with them. That's why I say that. I personally never met Akeem. You know what I mean? So that's why I
Okay.
chose that.
And everybody you said was a power forward, but that's on purpose.
That's what I gravitated to. You know what I mean?
That's why
That's who I looked at.
that's
That's
why I
what I
love your
looked at.
list. You
I mean, Iverson was a great player, but I mean, I ain't out there doing that. I looked
that's
at
the
where I was
point.
playing. You know what I mean?
That's the point I was just going to say. I love your list because you pick your favorite players, not because people said Jordan is the best. I got picky. You pick your favorite players and what you knew, and I love your
Right,
list.
right. And
You
absolutely, Jordan is obviously in a class by itself, but this is just my perspective. You know?
right, right, and I want everybody to always remember that when we ask that question, this is your personal favorite, not because Jordan is the best or LeBron or whatever the case. We want to hear your favorite players, not. And I love that list is. You said Garnett, Weber. I love that you picked Weber. A lot of people don't give Weber the props
Oh
that he
my God,
deserves. So
he's
Weber
a
was,
monster,
yeah, he was
a
a beast.
beast.
He was a beast for real.
You said Weber, Garnett, Barkley, Karl Malone, and who
Rasheed
was it?
Wallace.
Rashid
And Rashid,
Wallace.
Yeah.
When
Rasheed
Yeah.
was
Rashid
a
was,
beast too.
yeah, when Rashid was in
Rashid
Portland,
was a
oh
monster.
Yeah.
man,
If Rashid could have kept his head, he would have been in the Hall of Fame. Rashid used to give. If you ask Timmy who gave him the most fit, he would probably say Rashid Wallace. Real talk. Rashid
man,
was no easy cover bars.
no,
Yeah.
he was
Inside and
not.
out,
no,
shoot
no.
three. What man?
He's an athlete. He's a
Yeah.
raw athlete and play with a lot of emotion.
Definitely. He was definitely a beast. He had a nice mid-range jump shot. Then he finally took his shot out to the three-point line. But in that post, he would give you that work
Yeah, he was no
all
joke.
day.
Right.
And he had defense too.
Yes, he want no joke. He want easy. Yeah, but good,
But
man. That's a great list, man. Andy, man.
Uh,
So no,
but
no
fellas,
future
I
guys
got,
coming back home and
huh?
helping out. We would love to get you back home helping out and stuff, trying to raise some of our big guys. It look like finally our kids them start eating good food. We
I
start getting
mean,
some height again.
okay. I mean, it's different ways of helping out. We could sidebar and talk about that, but I always the evangelizing is definitely an interest of mine always of how to improve that. So me personally, it might not me personally, but I have a lot of resources and different things that we could discuss, and maybe see how we could help out. You know what I mean?
yeah, sounds good, man.
That's great. We'll be in touch with that.
You know,
Well, gentlemen, go ahead.
no, go actually one last question before you go. Um,
Okay.
I got
you
6
know,
more before you go.
sometimes when you're thinking about a interview, thinking about what you're gonna talk about, anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't touch.
Say that one more time again, Pam.
So leading up to an interview, you always sometimes you think about what you to talk about, like, or what you want to talk about on an interview. Like, is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't touch?
I think y'all did an excellent job. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's more for people who don't know some of the people in this area. You know what I mean? In our area, and so the younger people could see that it's aspirations to do things and see the world and doing things you love to do. And it ain't just any basketball. We got tons of great athletes that came from the Virgin Islands. I mean, I like B. Dre Cummins and Jackie Ross. These are guys that actually play baseball that I played baseball with. But there's a lot of history there that we need to probably revamp out and put out there that the kids and people could see again. So because sometimes when you see a greatness within us, that makes you aspire to do better, to be a better person. You know what I mean? Like, damn, they did this, I could do this. I mean, and by no means don't take this the wrong way. And all that I said and the places I've been, it wasn't to to come off braggadocious, but to more or less point out that look, there's opportunity for you to do it if you be resilient, stay focused on what you want to do. You can do what you want to do. You know what I mean? You can do what you want to do. Real quick, I even had a coach. Correction. I had I remember going to a it was a tryout for a game, and I had my agent with me. I ain't gonna mention his name. He might be watching, but at that time, the individual I just had a very bad showing. My nerves got to me. Tried the ball slide through my hand, missed dunk. Everybody had bad days. So in the
Mhm.
process of that, you know, it's funny how words are very important, powerful what you say to people and how it affects you. This individual was like, man, I think you should stop playing. You should get a job. So I sat there for about 30, 40 seconds, and then I was like, who the hell you think you're talking to? I stopped when I want to stop. Nobody telling me what to do. And from since then, I ended up playing an extra 7 years. So if I was
Wow.
to just let his words influence me and change me from who I want to be and what I want to do, I might have been doing something and cut myself short. So don't listen to nobody but yourself. You know what I mean? You do what you need to do. I mean, if you don't have nothing positive to say, don't say nothing.
Right.
That's why sometimes I'm quiet around a lot of people because I ain't got nothing good to say about you. But if I do, I speak to you. Hey, it is what it is. But it's just careful how words are. Words are empowering. You know what I mean? A lot of people put a lot of good words in you that build life into you. You know what I mean? And some people put words in you that build death or destruct what you're trying to do. So just a positive note. Just stay around positive people and just keep striving to do better. You know what I mean? But gents, I appreciate you reaching out. This is an outstanding podcast, and I appreciate everybody who watching and listening. But I got some things I got to do.
Thank you, man.
Hey,
Thank you.
hey,
Love,
Thank
man,
you.
I love.
Thank you.
yeah,
Much
man.
love.
And look, the
Give thanks
people
for you. Go
Getty.
ahead. No, I was just gonna say give thanks for you taking your time out your busy schedule because I know you're a businessman from Lang. So we really appreciate you sharing your story with us. It's very illuminating and well spoken. You could tell the intelligence coming out of you. and your parents, you could tell your parents raised you well, give thanks to them, and glad that you could take the time out to share your story with us. Really appreciate it.
Awesome, P. Awesome.
Go I think he could still hear, so go ahead. I could say what are you saying, or maybe he got.
No,
No,
no, go ahead.
yeah, and we can still give our
Yeah,
opinion. And basically, I was so happy he came on tonight. I mean, great story. I know the backboards and the rims in the world are very happy he's retired because he already took down 14, right? 14
Yeah,
backboard.
14.
yeah.
Complex is very happy because he broke Complex rim, and Zoro and Mark had to kick you out the gym. So, Andy, no more back breaking for you. Thank you. You are a blessing, and we're gonna be in touch.
Yeah, man.
Mom,
It was an honor. It was just an honor, hearing his story, So I'm in contact with him, so it's weird, I'm in contact with Andy, so we'll keep in touch and stuff. Hopefully, we can have him back on the show as well too. Um, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tune in. I want to give a shout out to Zoro because Zoro do a lot. He have gotten a lot of people to do the episode. So me personally, I really want to give him a big shout out and tell him I appreciate everything that he does behind the scenes. You know, he was the reason why Genix was watching the show as well. He would go over with his laptop and Genix would watch the show with Zoro. I never got a chance to point it out. I always thought about it, but then we do the episode and I'd be like, man, I forgot to mention Zoro. So, Zoro, if you're watching, we appreciate you, man. You always giving names. You always get in contact with people, and have them on the show. So I really appreciate you. I appreciate all the people, who have done a lot for the show as well. As far I ain't mentioning names because I'm not sure if they want me to mention their name, but I appreciate the person who did the whole logo. I appreciate you. You already know. Got much love for you. I appreciate you, everything that you do. Even the person who does the I don't know if you want to call it like the announcement, the little flyer, the designs with the picture and stuff. I appreciate you too for everything that you do. And everybody who give the ideas as well. I appreciate everything that you do as well too. So I just wanted to give that up before I forgot. So go ahead, my brothers.
well, I would like to thank everybody that watch. Spread the word. We want to get to all the VI masses and beyond. Remember, you could watch the show live on YouTube. You could watch the show live on. There's two ways to watch the show live on Facebook. If you go to the Facebook page, you could watch it live there. And if you a member of the group, it's for whatever reason. I don't know what's the logic behind that, but in the group, you could watch it live from the group. I could never find the group, so I don't know how much trouble I'd have to find it. But shout out to everybody, man, that are watch and join us from every episode. You know who you are, who's here with us all the time, and big thanks to everybody, and always thanks to you, Mumba, for asking me to come on and be on these episodes.
Much love,
Tegan,
brother.
same here. I look forward to this every week, every episode. I look forward to this, and I'm gonna second you with bigging up Zoro for what you're doing in the back and behind the scenes, because it take a village to raise a child. You know what I mean? So, and this is
It's
our
true.
child. So,
Yeah, yeah. Like well
We
said,
getting
Pat.
big.
Yeah.
We
huh?
getting big, and we
Yeah,
getting really big. So trust me.
yeah. I
I,
make sure to subscribe to the YouTube page. Please subscribe.
I, wa-
V.I. Legends.
Yeah. And when you
I want
searching, make
to
sure.
call a call for.
What?
I want to send out a call to Tyrone because I know
Yeah.
Tyrone always in the chat as well. We need to get King Baka on because everybody's asking who is this Bola, and I'm tired of explaining. So we need to get his story. Please, if you're getting in touch with Bola, please let you know we need to get him on the VI Legends because everybody asking for him. And
Uh,
yes, so I can't forget the bomb on the plane and the pilot running off the plane. So that thing is the
Yeah.
funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That was funny.
uh, King Baka comment. He wasn't live, but he commented on one of the episode. Them I can't remember who episode. It was a few days after, because even after the episode post and everything, whoever comment on it after, you still gonna get a little notification. And I saw his name pop up, and I meant to write it down so we could use it to get in touch with him, but um So I think he do watch the episodes. So I don't know if he watches all of them, but I know he watched one specific one, or because he comment on it.
Yeah. Somebody said that they play ball with him every Sunday too. I forget who it is, but I'll go back in the comments and look. But like you said, you give a call to Tyrone. We'll try and get in contact with Tyrone and make that happen as well too. So we got Bonehead. We're gonna have him on. So we gotta make that happen. So we definitely gonna make that happen. So I probably I would like to have Zoro to come on that episode, and I probably step out of that episode as well.
I don't know why you. I don't know why you always say that. Nope.
The reason being is because I think it kind of makes it a little bit better too, because Zoro has a lot of history and a lot of knowledge, and I think it will be more better as well too. It's just I just feel like it'll be better.
You probably meant that he should still stay on instead of going in the
Right.
back.
Why I said that, Bomba? Because we make the combination of the show, and for a reason, because I'm the oldest. T got behind me, then you. It's like we each had our little run at separate times, so it bring a dynamic. So
True.
It won't be the same without you, basically.
All right, I'll be there then. I'll be there. But I love giving the platform to other people as well. It's just a respect thing.
And very well deserving, but we understand. But yeah,
I gotta listen to Big Bro. I got to listen to the Big Brother. I gotta listen to Big Bro.
You're part of this team. You're part of this dynamic that make it run.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Right. So we be there. Zoro said Bola watch it. So Bola, if you watch it, we love to have you on. If you go get in contact with somebody, and let us know. We love to have you on. Like Tegan said, your name been called many times. So you definitely would like to make that happen.
And we definitely all had our experience and our share of dealing with Bola Mason. And that dude was a problem.
Yeah. And the fact that he's still playing, like you guys say, he does still play every Sunday. Wow, that's amazing.
Right.
Respect, yeah. Because I broke down.
I about to say, I know I holding out with one ear and with one leg I running on, my son, and I don't know how that man's still playing.
It's crazy.
That's amazing, man. Respect, Zoro. Respect. True that.
Well, brothers, once again, another great one. We definitely let the people know Mumba, and we out.
If you guys have anything to say before we leave, anything you guys want to touch on real quick or anything.
Who's the next episode?
What's her name? We're trying to get Linnea Liebert, so I'm waiting for her to get the confirmation. If not, I'm probably leaning towards Judge Bailey, maybe. So this month might be last minute. If not, we'll see. So either her or Judge Bailey, and if we can't get either one of them, then we'll see. We just have an episode, without a guest, which is fine. If somebody want to come on last minute, they could come on last minute.
Right. Just let us know, because I know people that that have a story, and they had a little thing in me and Johnson, we just send videos to each other back and forth on Facebook. They got Johnson. We could still try to get Jabari.
Yeah, I would like to have Johnson on too.
Uncle Bow. We need Bow to come on.
Definitely need Bow.
You gotta contact. That's you, Tegan. That's you.
I gotta see when you're ready.
Because the next 2 Sundays I'm trying to get VLA on, and then I'm trying to get Sorrow on.
Because I thought VLA was supposed to be today.
Yeah, today.
It was. You had said something. VLA was either Wednesday or today last week.
I don't know. I might have made a mistake or something. Yeah, so I really want to get them on as well too. Break them on with the sports I kind of touch. As far because we have had a lot of conversation about a lot of stuff. So I would just like to get them on and honor them and just hear their point of view on some stuff as well too.
Right.
So trying to get Drake Cummins on as well too. There's a lot of people. It's so many. Listen, it's so many people. It's crazy. So I just try to spread it out. Some basketball, baseball. Coaches.
Yeah.
And other sports.
Referring to if we can get Casey on, we need to get all aspect of the sports, and a lot of people don't really understand what KC is doing in terms of being a head ref for FIBA. And if any other the youngsters them inspire to be referees, they can take them around the world. It ain't just sports alone. Referee can do the same thing.
Right.
So that would be a good person to look at.
Yeah, because
Yeah, yeah.
whenever we travel, we always travel with one or two referee for the national team. Yeah. Well, fellas, the nice way to end the week with Andy Herbert. It was a great interview.
It's funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, I definitely gonna. I don't know. I definitely gonna think about that story every time I jump on a
Me
plane.
too, sir.
I gonna always be looking out the window to see what the pilot, if the pilot running
No, when you
across.
say the pilot, they had to be on a small plane because the pilot walk over the legs and just went through the back door and he was out, dude. I was like,
So I will definitely always be thinking about that there. So it was a
Oh,
great episode, funny stories. Go ahead.
no, I wanted to say, people in the chat. I don't know a lot of these people, so I see Carrie said VI track stars. The only one I know is what's her name? Lavon Jones. Yeah. That's the only one I know. I will try and get in contact with her. If anybody know anybody else, get in contact with them and make the connection with either myself, with Pang, or with Tegan. So if you guys know anyone, contact them, let them know, and get in contact with any of us, on the show and make it happen. Because I don't know everybody. I don't have everybody contact. So, it's hard. So if you guys have the connection, we appreciate it and make it happen, So yeah.
You did your shout out to the Legends 340, the Apollo Legion, everybody. You did that okay, because I missed that in the beginning.
Yeah. I make sure. I ain't gonna never forget again, Panga. Yeah, I make sure I did it. So, but shout out to everybody in the VI that has their business and stuff like that. So, and if anybody else want their their business or whatever to be broadcast and the podcast, let us know and we'll put it up. It's no problem with me, man. It's just all about supporting everybody, and bigging everybody up. So,
wait, sorry.
all right, Andrew, I got you, Andrew.
I just read some stuff on the text when we come off alive. I gotta share that with you.
All right. Well, everybody that joined, it's always a pleasure coming on and doing this. And without Ayu, there's no us. So, give thanks for taking time out for your day or Sunday evening. You could be doing, and you could be anywhere in the world doing anything, but you're here sharing it with us. So give thanks.
Love.
Bless.
I need podcasts.
The youths them put down them things.
For sure. You got better things to do out there. Especially go look some girls. All the women that running and synchro and all they out just fooling around. So I'm crazy.
That's true.
Hey,
All right. Good night.
Love.